disorders and insomnia.
More than 20 million counterfeit masks were seized at the border this year. U.S. Customs and Border Protection seeing an exponential increase in counterfeit protective mask seizures. They took more than 34 million counterfeit masks since the start of the pandemic a year ago. CBP says most of them are modeled to look like the N95 or KN95 masks, but they don't actually offer the same level of protection because they're missing key components.
Here's another incentive to get a shot. Sam Adams is giving out beer money to encourage you to get your vaccination against COVID-19. So starting Monday, if you post your vaccination sticker or a Band-Aid, the company will send you $7 through the Cash app for a beer at your favorite bar. Remember to include the hashtag #ShotForSam and tag @SamuelAdamsBeer either on Instagram or Twitter, and then check a direct message and make sure you have that Cash app account ready to go.
$7, beer's gotten expensive.
I know, right?
NASA's Hubble Space Telescope captured this double quasar. That's a beacon of intense light from the center of a distant galaxy that can outshine the entire galaxy. It's powered by a supermassive black hole. Image allows scientists to peer back 10 billion years into the universe past.
Jeez.
Researchers believe they're very close to each other because they reside in the cores of two merging galaxies.
Beautiful to look at.
Yes, it is.
Well, Best Buy has a new plan to hold on to shoppers in the crowded electronics market. So listen to this. Best Buy says it's starting a $200 a year membership program with free device installations, a concierge service for tech support, and other perks. This also includes free shipping without order minimums, extended return windows, and exclusive sales. I have to see these sales, though. That's $200 a year. The program will be available at around 60 Best Buy stores in 6 states to try it out by the end of this month.
Saying hey to troopers on duty, you can see this photo FHP shared on Twitter. Horse stopped to say hello to one of the troopers through the window. You see the nose. Caption says, as a Florida State trooper, you never really know who you get the chance to meet.
Bobby Bowden, the former Florida State football coach who led the Seminoles to 2 national titles, received the inaugural Florida Medal of Freedom at a ceremony hosted by Governor Ron DeSantis. Bowden coached Florida State from 1976 to 2009. He's one of college football's winningest coaches.
A high fire index is keeping firefighters on edge. Steps you can take to keep your home safe, and what firefighters are doing to protect your property. That's next at 6.
Plus, cleaner streets in the Cape, what Waste Pro must do in days to clean up your curb, and when they say they'll finally catch up.
92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Dial star 2020. Friends, I care.
Trey Radel, your host of The Drive here. It was only a couple years ago I had my LASIK procedure done with Dr. France and his team. It's life-changing. From the simple little things like waking up in the morning, being able to see the alarm clock, to being able to go outside, toss ball with my son in the heat of the summer and not worry about glasses, contacts, sweat getting into them. But listen to this, though. The technology has radically improved even since I had my procedure done. Maybe you're a candidate for what's called Smile. It's a procedure that has a smaller incision, no flap, and a lower incidence of dry eye syndrome. It's fantastic. All sorts of options that you can do now with Dr. France and his team to meet the needs of your eyes specifically. It is not one size fits all. So don't compromise when it comes to your eyes. So go to Dr. France and his team today. Just dial star 2020 from your mobile phone and go see him.
Friends, I care.
Do you know what's in your investment portfolio and why it's in there? The Naples Trust Company and the Sanibel Captiva Trust Company were founded in response to high net worth investors seeking quality independent wealth management to protect and grow their family's assets. At the Trust Company, we like to say, we don't invest in the market, we just buy great companies. Our local investment managers are not only experienced and proven, but talented analysts. It's taken years, perhaps a lifetime, to reach the financial freedom that you and your family enjoy today. Your financial future should rest in the hands of a company with the integrity and experience to preserve and grow your assets. The Naples and Sanibel Captiva Trust Company teams invite you to experience the true meaning of private wealth management. Contact us at one of our local offices and let's get acquainted. NaplesTrustCompany.com.
All investments involve risk and are not guaranteed.
Why would someone take a chance on purchasing a frameless shower door from a big box store or an online discounter of an obscure brand, and then try and find a licensed, qualified installer to put it in, when you can deal directly with a local, family-owned business that consults, measures, manufactures, and installs their own award-winning brand of shower doors. My Shower Door is a family-owned and operated business and has the highest ratings on Angie's List and Home Advisor. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdor.com.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 6 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
President Biden takes aim at guns. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. He's planning a series of executive actions today. One attempts to stop the rise of what are called ghost guns, which are made from components in kits.
The Justice Department will also be asked to produce model red flag laws, a policy aimed at temporarily keeping guns away from those deemed to be a danger to themselves or others. But the National Rifle Association warns the new policies could, quote, require law-abiding citizens to surrender lawful property and enable states to expand gun confiscation orders.
Fox's Sean Langell. 5 people are dead after a shooting last night at a house in Rock Hill, South Carolina. A doctor and his wife, 2 of their young grandchildren, and a man who worked at the home. Police later found the suspected gunman at a nearby house. Amid the surge of migrants at the border, including children coming here alone, new allegations of abuse at a facility housing some of the kids in San Antonio. Texas Governor Greg Abbott says they've gotten complaints alleging sexual abuse and kids not having enough to eat.
To end this abuse, the Biden administration must immediately shut down this facility.
In California, Border Patrol agents found 2 more young kids.
A 6-year-old boy, a 5-year-old girl found alone, crying, their mother's name and phone number written on their arms in a marker. It's a near daily example of the smuggler's brutality. This is the number of unaccompanied children in DHS's care exceeds 20,000.
Fox's Griff Jenkins. The president keeps pushing a more than $2 trillion plan to rebuild infrastructure.
I will not impose any tax increases on people making less than $400,000 a year.
The plan does include a corporate tax hike. Republicans oppose, and Democratic Senator Joe Manchin thinks it's too big. The president says he's willing to negotiate. Manchin also wrote an op-ed in a newspaper last night saying he will not vote to get rid of or weaken the Senate filibuster, as some Democrats have wanted to help pass legislation without any GOP support. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Wink News Traffic.
Good Thursday morning. We have an injury crash right now along Tamiami Trail East heading out toward Big Cypress Preserve. And that's going to be right around the mile marker 60 on Tamiami Trail 41, not Alligator Alley. The alley is completely open, but if you're planning on taking the East Trail toward the East Coast this morning, you cannot get through past State Road 29 right now because of that crash with injuries. Take the alley all the way out from the toll plaza at mile marker 101 to get past that crash scene if you're going toward the East Coast. The rest of 75 looks nice and quiet this morning. No issues up and down 41 from downtown Naples up through Fort Myers, even into Charlotte County, looking good. Our bridge commute nice and quiet early on this morning as well, in and out of the Cape and North Fort Myers. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. Expect a ton of sunshine and a big warm-up this afternoon as temperatures inland will reach the mid to even upper 80s with the lower 80s near our immediate coastline. Now, the wind becoming breezy at times, plus the warm, low humidity will allow for an elevated fire danger index once again, but we will get some relief from that by Sunday as rain approaches Southwest Florida, and we get it for multiple days as we look toward next week. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
I want to say I love America because everyone gets a voice.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Your 9-year-old car just hit 100,000 miles. You don't know whether to smile and pat the dash with pride or to cry because your trade-in value just went down even further and you're so ready for an upgrade. Don't cry. Bring it to Naples Nissan and get the full original MSRP for it. That's right, whatever your trade-in was worth when it was brand new, even if you didn't buy it new, that's what Naples Nissan will give you for it. And voila, you get to drive home in a brand new Nissan. All vehicle types, all vehicle brands, regardless of where you bought it from or if you bought it new or used. If your trade-in is a 2012 or newer with less than 120,000 miles on it, Naples Nissan will pay you the full original base MSRP for it so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan today. Get full details at naplesnissan.com. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
Why wait for so-called one-time refund relief from big insurance companies when you can get the best prices and coverages all day, every day, all year round from Chapman Insurance Group? Hi, this is Brian Chapman, and my team is committed to finding you the most efficient coverage at the best rates. Give us an opportunity to quote your home, auto, business, or flood policy. I'm confident we can save you money for the same or better coverage. Visit CIGFlorida.com or call an office near you today. Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Port Charlotte, and Punta Gorda. CIGFlorida.com.
I received a call the other day from a woman. Her husband tragically was unable to call himself, but he had told her, if anything ever happens to me, call Morgan & Morgan. And what higher honor could we receive than protecting someone's family after they're gone? Life can be shattered in a moment. When that happens, know that America's largest injury law firm is here for you. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hello, Floridians. Today is a good day. Today is a good day to stay comfortable. Today is a good day to have your AC worries taken away. And it's a good day to get service backed by over 50 years of AC excellence.
Oh, yes.
So if you're having AC issues, get a new Carrier system and save up to $2,000 in rebates, plus 6 months no payments. And Florida Cool Today will help you get the best from today.
Call today, cool today, FloridaCoolToday.com.
Carrier, turn to the experts.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage. When you need an expert to help navigate that home loan process, Rocket can.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. Streaming live, drewsteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. We always appreciate you watching. If you're on Facebook and you would like to watch as well, at Drew Steele Radio, we're there. That is fine. Comments and reactions, certainly we'll hear a lot of those today. And on the text line, sexual fascists. What's a sexual fascist? And why is that something that's being discussed in Lee County schools? Well, maybe it's not being discussed in Lee County schools, but it has to do with something that popped up yesterday that Matt Caldwell, who is the Lee County property appraiser, brought up on his Facebook page. And he's pretty irate. And so are a lot of other parents. They're trying to understand what is happening with Equality Florida and best practices and action steps. A poster in our local elementary schools talking about gender expression and sexual orientation and gender identity and points of contact of people to call in case these best practices and actions, I guess, apparently are not being handled within the Lee County School District. The school board that I guess was talking about this in the past and bringing this up and having a full month that was going to be all about this issue for a whole month in the district, and parents had a say in it, and then they kind of pulled back from some of this discussion, saving it for another day, and then all of a sudden we come to find out that around elementary schools, and I even found out about this as well through some family members who are teaching, to find out that there are posters all around local elementary schools. So what do they say? And we're going to have a long discussion about this morning, because we're really going to start to dig into some issues either you care about or you don't. Either you care about the education of the kids here in the school districts in Lee County and Collier County, Glades, Hendry, Charlotte, all across Southwest Florida. Either you care as a parent or you don't. Either you are someone who is paying attention or you're not. You either feel like, I hate to sound so harsh, but I don't know that there's a middle ground here. It's one side or the other. Either you have a child that is in the school system in the state of Florida and specifically here in Southwest Florida, and you don't know what's going on, but you feel like, listen, there's a lot of things that are going on, letters to the governor about waste, fraud, abuse of our taxpayer dollars, things that are happening within the Lee County School District, and you care about it, or you're just like, you know what, I'm fine. My kid's getting a decent education, I believe. It seems like he comes home, it seems like he knows a lot. My daughter seems to know a whole lot of what's going on. I don't have time. Well, there are many people who are confused and concerned about not only this that popped up on Matt Caldwell's Facebook feed, but also that was going into my inbox at my email address. But they also have questions about what one school board member in particular talked about I think it was last week or the week before, and sent a letter to the governor concerned about what's going on in the district. And look, all of these issues need to be discussed, need to be put out there, because for the longest time, that's all we've been talking about. And I've been kind of laying back on this just because I'm assuming that it was going to get better. I'm assuming that through elections, that there would be concerned parents that would vote out the kind of waste, fraud, abuse, obstruction, things that have been discussed on numerous occasions, and now was even brought up by one school board member in particular. But that's not the case. It hasn't happened. And the question is why? And is it because you don't care? I don't believe that. It's because maybe you just don't know. And again, if you're someone whose child has already been through the system and you don't have anything to worry about, I don't have a kid in the school system, you should care. Because every time you hear a story, whether it's locally or nationally, about the schools, colleges, indoctrination, the things that are being taught, some of the books that the kids are reading, some of the things that are in their hand, and you are appalled and you're like, this is an outrage. I can't believe they're doing that in California, New York, Idaho, fill in the blank. Man, glad I live here in Southwest Florida. And you think it's not happening here? You think that there's no issues in Southwest Florida? But again, I don't have a child in the district, so why should I care? I don't know if you care about the indoctrination of a generation that's going to be coming forward and being the ones that will that own the businesses and will be the ones that will be in charge and be on boards and be on part of districts in the future and be part of commissions and maybe a Lee County commissioner, a Collier County commissioner, and these kids are going to grow up and soon they are going to be the ones that are going to rule. They're the ones that are going to be in charge. They're the ones that are going to have positions of power. And they believe in a country and they believe in a form of government, or they believe in values that have absolutely nothing and antithetical to who we are and what we care about in this country and have for the longest time, and you want it to stop, then you need to look inside and look here in Southwest Florida to find out what in the world is going on. So we're going to spend a lot of time on this. Matt Caldwell is going to join us for an hour. We're going to be on from 7 to 8, and we're going to really dig into this. And I'll just tease it by saying and reading what was on his Facebook page so you know what it's about. A poster at our local elementary schools talking about steps that have to be taken for students. All students may dress and act in ways that are consistent with their gender identity and expression while still abiding by the district's code of appearance. All students are allowed to be involved in school activities that are consistent with their gender identity. Participation is determined by guidelines by the FHSAA. Students are to be referred to by their gender pronoun and name that is consistent with their gender identity. Oh, and hey, this one as well in elementary schools. All students are allowed to access the restroom that are consistent with their gender identity or be provided appropriate accommodations as requested. Accommodations are determined in collaboration with district staff on a case-by-case basis. Oh, and there's other things. There's clubs and there's identity and how you have to be identified. And the question becomes, in a lot of ways, when you see this, what if they don't? What if there are teachers and staff that in Lee County School District that decide that they're not going to refer to somebody by a gender pronoun that's consistent with their identity. Well, what if they decide that they don't want that boy going into that girl's locker room or that girl's bathroom? What do we do then? Do they lose their job? How does that work? And so Matt Caldwell put this up on his Facebook page, a poster at our local elementary schools. This is what's up on the school's walls in the district. It's something that was identified by a few different people that reached out to me. While truly intersex and mentally anguished students deserve respectful, individualized instruction, imposing a fad sexuality on the entire school system is an insult beyond the pale. There are only two genders, period. Why even teach a biology course? Our district is telling serious educators and students to leave our district, making it another typical urban failure. I also suspect an elected superintendent, listen to this, I also suspect an elected superintendent would not have cowardly bowed to the sexual fascists. That's his words. Don't just rage here on social media. Call, text, email, testify to the Lee County School District and demand change, and get involved now for the 2022 elections. And that's the other thing that is happening here. If you care about this issue, you have a say in this. If this bothers you and this happened under the cloak of darkness, under whose direction, who knows? I guess maybe when we talk to Matt Caldwell later on this morning, we'll find out. But how did this happen? How is it that this just takes place and you don't have a choice? You don't have a say? I guess we'll find out more. And I hope you do care, but maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. All right, so that's coming up this morning at 7 o'clock. So 7:05, between 7 and 8. We're going to dig into this and all the other issues that are going on. And again, if you're in Collier County, if you're in Charlotte, if you're in any other county, you need to hear all of this, because there's a very good possibility that things are happening behind the scenes in your district, in your area of Southwest Florida, and you're just not sure of it right now because nobody has taken the time to dig in to find out what's going on. And these are the kinds of things that matter when it comes to not only your kids, but your tax dollars. You're paying for this. This is your money. We'll complain on a federal level about things. Trillions upon trillions of dollars that are going to be spent by the federal government. Joe Biden is going to go ahead and destroy this country, and you have no say in this. Is that right?
Not a joke.
It is a joke. I mean, it's not a joke, but we care so much about that and talk about that and focus on that. And in the meantime, the things that are closest to home we're ignoring, where our tax dollars are at work against us and our values. And again, let me just say this for the millionth time. Don't listen to these segments coming up and make this about this program or this station or Matt Caldwell or anybody else hating people, hating individuals. We just absolutely hate the LGBTQ community. Actually, that's what it is. This is going to be a whole program about hate. Don't do it, because that's not what it is. Nobody is hating on it. We can have an issue with the way the district operates when it comes to anything, this one being the particular issue, and want to talk about it and not have it about hate. That's not what this is. And because there are disagreements doesn't mean you have to hate somebody. It goes right down the line with everything. And if that's what you think this is, you're wrong. You're just flat out wrong. So don't even go there. All right, 239-479-5592. Some of the other things that we're going to talk about this morning. Well, let's see. Interestingly enough, as it seems like it's day 3 or whatever it is, day 4, I don't even know what it is now, of Governor DeSantis, 60 Minutes doubling and tripling down on the fact that they believe that the governor is racist and he's ISTA and Obia, whatever, you just fill in the blank. And the hit job that they did on him was justified. You can go to local and state and national media outlets right now on the websites, and you can see how they describe the 60 Minutes interview. And it's all about how Ron DeSantis is so mad and he's the problem and it's his fault and he's the issue and he's just taking issue with 60 Minutes for uncovering something. You can see what their agenda is already. When you know full well, and everybody had it on display, about how they selectively edited the video that would have explained what the reporter was asking of Ron DeSantis at the time about vaccines and Publix. And instead of including that and having the explanation, they took it out because it fed into the narrative. And so now 60 Minutes for the third time is saying, yeah, we're tripling down. Yeah, it's Ron DeSantis. He's the evil guy. He's the problem with the vaccines. And Alex Berenson was bringing this up on his Twitter feed, and I thought this was spot on. 60 Minutes is now reduced to claiming it attacked the governor over 31,000 people. I mean, if you want to go there. So now, if you really want to go there, 31,000 people in a state of 22 million in a county of 1.5, Palm Beach County, who had somewhat more difficult access to vaccines for weeks, for a matter of weeks. They had a little bit of difficulty being able to find the Publix or find the Walgreens or CVS, something that was close to the community. So because of that, the governor is evil and he's racist and fill in the blank. And that's where we're going right now. So it's an unfortunate thing that the vaccine rollout and the accessibility wasn't exact to the day, to the moment that people desired for 0.0014% of the population, as somebody described it. I know that sounds harsh. What are you suggesting that these? No, I'm not suggesting it. 31,000 people shouldn't have. No. There's a couple of questions. Number one, did these individuals get the vaccine? Were they able to get it? Apparently, according to the story and some individuals that have looked into it, that they did. They have. Was there a delay? There's a delay, but there's a big difference between a delay of a couple of days and the governor is searching out his wealthy friends and going to places that nobody can access, like Publix. No, really, that's the story, right? Nobody in the state of Florida. Ask Jake. Jake, how difficult is it for you to find a Publix anywhere in the state of Florida? It's almost impossible, right?
Man, they're everywhere.
They're everywhere. That's a quote. We should make a meme out of that. Jake's face with a smirk and just say, man, they're everywhere.
Well, they are.
Yeah.
They're like stacked, man.
Well, but they were too far away for certain individuals. We get it. Okay. But to try to double and triple and quadruple down on this, instead of admitting what you did was lifting portions of the interview so that the audience would not be able to hear the explanation that was given at the time. Think about that. If you were doing an interview with somebody and they said, well, I don't understand. Where were you yesterday? How could you say that you didn't have anything to do with this crime? I didn't have anything to do with the crime. Because here's the identification to show exactly where I was. Here's a video to show exactly what I was doing. Here's GPS coordinates to show where I was. You need to take it down and you need to stop going after me constantly. So cutting out the middle part of what I just said and then running a story and going, oh, he's claiming he didn't know anything, but we're telling you it's the truth. That we know that he had something to do with it. I mean, he lives right in the same neighborhood as the person who committed the crime. Wait a minute, I just explained to you and I just gave you the proof that you were looking for, and you selectively edited that whole issue. That the proof that I gave you, you selectively edited and then ran with it. How do you do that? You do that because, well, everybody knows. The only concern that I have about the DeSantis 60 Minutes story is the same concern that I have with the Major League Baseball and leaving Atlanta and the comparisons between Colorado and Atlanta and the issue of whether it's a Jim Crow. It's like more like Jim Eagle, which throwing around words like Jim Crow and when you haven't even explained to people what the Jim Crow era was like and what Democrats did to blacks in this country and how they were treated. And even if you want to go into explanation about it, but yet you're going to throw this language out as if there's any kind of comparison between the voting changes in Atlanta and Jim Crow. It's outrageous. But my concern is with the focus on DeSantis in 60 Minutes and the focus on Major League Baseball and what happened there. Man, we are not talking enough about the really, really, really big issues. Hunter Biden, absolutely a story. Derek Chauvin, absolutely a story. 60 Minutes and the attack on Governor DeSantis and how local, state, and national media all running with it because they despise and hate him so much because of the connection with Trump and because the success of the state of Florida. We get all of this. Yep, it's a story. Major League Baseball and leaving Atlanta and what they did to go to the city, to go to Colorado and just destroying the possibility of those they claim to care most about in the communities there in Atlanta and Cobb County and how their income and the economy is going to really be hurt by this decision and how we're just supposed to ignore. Of course, that's a story. But you realize yesterday, the Biden administration announced executive orders cracking down on your guns. Your Second Amendment is starting to get chipped away. It's going to start this week. They're going to do their best to do it. That's a huge story. And the fact that Democrats now are gaslighting you into an existence that's not the truth and not reality. When Kristen Gillibrand talking about the infrastructure bill that's trillions and trillions of dollars, and it's just the start of more trillions of dollars that will be spent by this government that we can't afford to do. And in the process, will destroy this country. And man, I'll tell you what, when you destroy capitalism and the free market, what do people do? This is the lead, by the way. We're trying to figure out what's going on. If you destroy this country economically by overloading the system, which is what they're doing, when this country is on its knees and it's completely destroyed, the people that will turn around and say, this is the answer to bring it back, are the same Marxist people that destroyed it. Because if they can destroy it, they can point to capitalism and the free market and say, that's what destroyed it. That's the reason why this happened to you. There's a better way. And while people are on their knees and desperate, they're going to make Marxism sound like it's something special. And all it is what brought us to the point. And when Kirsten Gillibrand, who, by the way, was somebody who was running for president of the United States on the Democrat ticket, said paid leave is infrastructure, childcare is infrastructure, caregiving is infrastructure, and this is being parroted by every single Democrat. Do you see what they're doing? No, it's not. It's absolutely no. Yes, it is. Everybody's saying it.
This is 92.5 Fox News. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
This Fox News Business Report is presented by Sargent's Integrated Pest Solutions Incorporated, providing organic and botanical pest control solutions since 2011.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
They're still counting votes in the high-stakes union election at an Amazon warehouse in Alabama. The retail union says about 55% of the workers cast ballots in the election, which ended last week. CBS announced yesterday it cut ties with TV executives Peter Dunn and David Friend following an investigation into their conduct. In January, the Los Angeles Times reported on allegations the pair had fostered a hostile work environment. JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon tells shareholders he believes the U.S. economy is set to come roaring back from the pandemic over the next 2 years. And on Wall Street, the S&P 500 inched up 6 points to close at a record high. The Dow rose 16 points, the Nasdaq fell 9. I'm Carmen Roberts. That's your Fox Business Report. Invested in you.
Businesses that run like clockwork establish routines they trust. That's why over 1 million companies rely on Cintas. We'll help you protect employees and customers with essential safety supplies, inspect your fire protection systems and devices, hygienically launder your uniforms, and keep you well-stocked with the leading hand sanitizers and disinfecting wipes. Learn how Cintas can help you open your doors with confidence.
Oh, I'm ready!
Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Hey, it's Jake DeMolino here from Daybreak to talk about AMCO of Bonita Springs. Everyone's been affected by the pandemic, and I was definitely no exception. But here's the thing. I had an issue, a well-known issue. Kevin and Todd came to the rescue, effectively giving me my life back. They put their expertise to work on my transmission. That was completely shot. His master mechanic told me that it was probably the worst transmission he's seen in his 30 years of working. And let me tell you, he knocked it out of the park. He helped me, and I'm sure he can help you as well. AMCO of Bonita Springs has been trusted in Southwest Florida since 2008. They've been through pandemics, recessions, you name it. They're located right off of Burnwood Drive in Bonita, an independent, conservative AMCO dealer whose award-winning customer service speaks for itself. They work on all makes and models, and they don't just do transmissions. They can do oil changes, normal maintenance, tires, you name it. For those of you out there with classic cars, there's no one I could trust more than Kevin and Todd with something I know you cherish and is so near and dear to you. So give Kevin and Todd a call at AMCO of Bonita Springs. 239-992-2626. 239-992-2626.
True relief for back and neck pain. In my office, Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, every day I talk with patients that for so many years just suffered with back or neck pain. Many just assuming that it was normal or something they had to live with. They'd tried injections, epidurals, or even surgery with no success, always looking for a chair to relieve pain or always dreading pain while sleeping or getting out of bed. It's time to treat the root of the problem. Please don't think there are no other options. You can overcome problems from sciatica, stenosis, neuropathy, bulging degenerative discs, or scoliosis. Non-surgical spinal decompression can change your life. Think of how much happier you'd be without pain. This Medicare-friendly treatment combines science and technology to offer a state-of-the-art, non-surgical procedure that is remarkably effective. We always offer a free telephone consultation and free x-rays to see if you're a candidate for spinal decompression. Johnston Spinal Care, we're here for you. Call 596-BACK, 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Signed on the line incorporated DBA True Mortgage is a fair housing lender. NMLS 1626699.
Mortgage interest rates are at historic lows, but with looming inflation, odds are rates will go up. Now's the time to lock in a low rate before it's too late, and True Mortgage can help. Home values have seen significant growth, and with a cash-out refi, you could save thousands, the lower interest rate, and get the cash you need to pay off high-interest credit cards and loans, do home improvements, or put money away for emergencies. If your current mortgage rate starts with anything other than a 2, don't let this opportunity pass you by. At True Mortgage, we've got low rates, fast turnaround, and the smart options you need. We'll also pay the title, escrow, and appraisal fees to save you even more money. Pay off those high-interest debts and save thousands by locking in a lower refi rate today. For a free quote, visit TrueNow.com or talk to one of True's top-rated loan consultants today. Just call 800-353-6040. That's 800-353-6040. 800-353-6040.
No matter what it's like outside, Trane makes it comfortable inside. You can get a great deal now on a new heating and cooling system at Trane. Visit TraneInfo.com. Visit TraneInfo.com to find your local dealer and more. Because it's hard to stop a Trane.
I trust Rock Solid.
I trust Rock Solid.
I trust Rock Solid.
I'm an interior designer and I trust Rock Solid.
If you're looking for just the right countertops for your home, the choice is simple. Rock Solid.
I'm a contractor and I trust Rock Solid.
I trust Rock Solid.
I trust Rock Solid.
See why homeowners and contractors choose Rock Solid for the finest countertops. Now with our newly expanded showroom, making your home improvement experience even better.
Rock Solid in the Pink Building, 2240 JNC Boulevard, Naples. Rock Solid. We don't stop at just countertops.
Rockstar Harley has secured 0% APR financing on all new Harley Davidsons this week. Rockstar Harley has over 300 Harleys on site ready for immediate delivery. Finance experts on site to help get you approved. 0% APR on all new Harleys this week at Rockstar Harley.
On for credit and Sunday.
Wink News Traffic.
Watching a vehicle fire right now in the Northwest Cape. This is at Tropicana Parkway West and Northwest 33rd Ave, just off Burnt Store Road to the west. The vehicle fire is actually out, but investigators are out there on scene, and it looks like there still is some kind of roadblock in the area, so avoid it if you can. Out along Alligator Alley, everything nice and clear toward the East Coast, and that's going to be your best alternate route because right now we have the East Trail shut down east of State Road 29, heading into Broward and Dade counties. If you're heading that direction right now, there is a crash around mile marker 60 on US 41 with injuries, so avoid that area for the time being. Looking good if you're heading up 75 right now through Collier County into Fort Myers. No delays right now as well, right around Colonial Boulevard and State Road 82. The overnight construction out there clear. It's cleared up. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. Expect a ton of sunshine and a big warm up this afternoon as temperatures inland will reach the mid to even upper 80s with the lower 80s near our immediate coastline. Now, the wind becoming breezy at times, plus the warm, low humidity will allow for an elevated fire danger index once again, but we will get some relief from that by Sunday as rain approaches Southwest Florida, and we get it for multiple days as we look toward next week. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Plug into the power. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling Tip of the Day. I want to tell you that I'm a rocket scientist. But just because I said it, it doesn't make it true. Your air conditioning tech isn't an air quality expert either. I know what it takes to become one because I've had more than 30 credentials in this industry and over 35 years of training to get to be an air quality expert. It's not easy. If you want to buy whatever junk your air conditioning guy is selling you, I'm sure he'll love that fat commission. But if you want the truth from a real air quality expert with real credentials, call me, Fred Kobe, at 239-482-1542. You'll get the truth and nothing but the truth. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in this business since 1949.
We'll buy your car today, on the spot, and pay you $500 more than anyone else. It's the ultimate buyback event at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral. 4 days only. Market conditions and a record month have caused a massive demand for your used vehicle, allowing Sutherland to pay more than ever for trade-ins, up to 130% book value and $500 more than any other written offer. No purchase necessary. Sutherland Nissan will buy your car outright. You don't need to buy one of our cars. Bring your vehicle to Sutherland and get paid up to 130% value today. Plus, you can score your car for free on the Sutherland basketball hoop. Make a layup, free throw, three-pointer, and half-court shot, and you can tear up your contract. The car is yours on the house. Hurry, this event ends 7 p.m. Sunday. Nobody in Florida pays you more for your old car than Sutherland. Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car megastore. Online at flnissan.com. If you don't shop Sutherland, you'll pay too much.
See dealer for details.
This is Mike Roberts, Vice President at Mortgage Warehouse, Southwest Florida's mortgage price leader and home of the no closing cost mortgage. No points, no hidden fees, no loan costs, period. If the mortgage you have right now was done prior to COVID-19, you should call us for a free review. At Mortgage Warehouse, we understand how frustrating it can be to make your mortgage payment month after month, and the loan balance just doesn't seem to go down. The payment is mostly interest, but we can help with that. We can combine near record low mortgage rates with our local no closing cost program to improve your mortgage payment right away. You do not have to roll any closing costs into your loan balance to get these ultra low mortgage rates. You can apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com or call 313-5000. That's 313-5000. MortgageWarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
This is Greg, owner of Tropical Generator. And when I started my generator business 17 years ago, I made it a priority to focus on reliability. Generators are a lot like fire extinguishers. Hopefully, you never have to use it. But when you do, it better perform flawlessly. There are a lot of competitors out there whose only goal is to separate you from your money. Whether the generator actually performs in an emergency, well, that's not really a concern. Instead of taking a big risk on a cheap fire extinguisher, call Tropical Generator today for a reliable generator system. I offer you 17 years of experience doing expert generator installations, a 4-year degree in electrical engineering, and the highest level Florida licenses in electrical and gas contracting. I also live in Fort Myers and have personally selected and trained every one of our employees. At Tropical Generator, we're big enough to help and small enough to care. Call today, 239-206-4509 or tropicalgenerator.com. That's 239-206-4509 or on the web at tropicalgenerator.com. License EC 13007873.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it. Guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at gooddealsappliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
Did you know that King Roofing has expert dedicated repair crews to troubleshoot roof problems? They can fix everything from tree damage to broken tiles and, of course, roof leaks. Do you have a leak or water stains or tile damage? Call King Roofing, a roofing company with the right team to repair it. King Roofing, experienced in roof repair for over 40 years.
License number CCC 057279.
Every castle deserves a king.
At LMCU, our roots in your community just got a little deeper with the opening of our newest branch in Estero. When you bank with us, you can earn more on your money with our Max checking account and pay less on things like home mortgages and credit cards. We're proud to open our 13th Florida location at 21910 South Tamiami Trail. Our lobbies are open, plus you can schedule an appointment or visit one of our drive-thrus for contactless service. Our branches stretch far and wide for a reason. You. LMCU. You'll love banking here. Equal housing lender, member NCUA, and MLS number 442967.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
The primary causal factor for this traffic collision was driving at a speed unsafe for the road conditions and the inability to negotiate the curve of the roadway. Estimated speeds at the first area of impact were 84 to 87 miles per hour, and the final estimated speed when the vehicle struck the tree was 75 miles per hour.
The impact of the vehicle when it hit the tree caused the vehicle to go airborne and do a somewhat pirouette, landing on its side. The event data recorder showed the acceleration pedal percentage was at 99% at the area of impact. There was no evidence of braking throughout this collision. It is speculated and believed that Tiger Woods inadvertently hit the accelerator instead of the brake pedal, causing that 99% rating on the accelerator pedal.
All right, so there it is. Authorities saying that Tiger Woods was driving twice the speed limit when he crashed a vehicle back in February, like 84 to 87 miles an hour, and he struck the median in a 45 zone. No signs of impairment, but did they do any toxicology? Have they released any toxicology? Do we know anything? I haven't heard anything about that. Hitting the gas when he crashed, not the brake. So that's what they're suggesting, that it was... Anyway, a lot of people have questions. I don't know. It's one of those... You hate to say it, but the more and more I hear about this story and the more I talk to people about this story, it seems as if, you know, let's not go too far. Let's not dig too deep into this story. It happened, right? And it's certain people you don't want to get into the details of exactly what was going on with toxicology and the rest, and then maybe I don't know. It just seems like a crazy story. But all right, so there's that announcement, and then I guess that's it. We're just supposed to not. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the details are. That's what I heard. 239-479-5592. I mean, it's awful. You hate to hear that, and obviously you want Tiger to get better. And if there's something else that's going on in his life, in his world, I mean, he things that have happened before in the past with driving with taking Ambien and the like, and things that we all know, and you just want to hope that he's going to be okay and get past all of that. So. And hopefully that wasn't the case here. And I don't know. 239-479-5592. Matt Caldwell is going to join us at 7:05. I think he's linked up right now, as a matter of fact, Jake. So that we're going to talk about the Lease County School Board and get into some detail about what people were just filling up my inbox yesterday about on my email about Equality Florida, best practices and action steps, a poster in our local elementary schools about the need to make sure that all students are allowed to access the restrooms, that they're consistent with their gender identity, and other things, including making sure that students are referred to by their gender pronoun. And I'm just wondering if teachers don't, or individuals in the school district don't, what does that mean? What ends up happening? Well, we'll talk about that more in detail. All right, 239-479-5592. And again, one of the things that I've been concerned about is with a lot of these stories that we talk about this, we talk about Major League Baseball, Governor DeSantis, 60 Minutes, we talk about all of these things, and then we come to find out, hey, while we were focusing on that, now look, you and I together, we can walk and chew gum at the same time. We can look at the 60-minute sit job on DeSantis and understand what it is. We could focus on the Lee County School Board and even school boards across the state. Southwest Florida, we're concerned about some of the things that are going on and parent involvement and how they get involved. And then there are board members in the district that are like, you think you have control over us? No, we have control over you, which is absolutely outrageous and ridiculous to think. We could also talk about the stories that have to do with other issues, including what's going on in the state. And at the same time, focus on the really big issues like the Joe Biden administration announcing they're going to have new far left executive orders aimed at cracking down on the Second Amendment and the hiring of a new director of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, who comes from an anti-Second Amendment group, which many people have tried to look at his Twitter account. Comes to find out that it's a private account. You don't get to see any tweets from this individual. Really? Why? These are his initial actions as he's going after your Second Amendment rights. Justice Department within 30 days will issue a proposed rule to help stop the proliferation of quote-unquote ghost guns. The Justice Department within 60 days is going to issue a proposed rule to make clear when a device marketed as a stabilizing brace effectively turns a pistol into a short-barreled rifle subject to the requirements of the National Firearms Act. And the Justice Department within 60 days is going to publish model, quote-unquote, red flag legislation for states. So what does that all mean? And by the way, before we get into the details, I'm bringing this up again to say that we can talk about both of the issues, the big, huge issues, and some of the other things that are going on, like school boards and state legislature and some of the things that they're doing in Tallahassee that we're going to get into this morning, and Major League Baseball and those battles and boycotts and whether or not to have them and who they really affect. The problem becomes when our elected officials, Republicans, don't. Like they're too busy focusing on the things that are going to get the clicks, and they're too busy focusing on the things that are going to get people riled up in the short term to the idea that the bigger issues go to the side and they're not being talked about enough. In other words, you don't want the 60-minute story to take over the news cycle when you have this happening. And I'm listening to a lot of, and I'm reading and seeing a lot of things that are happening right now that lead me to believe that, man, you got to do both. And I'm looking at Republicans and saying, you need to do one. And the one, let us handle the 60-minute story. Let us handle Major League Baseball. Let us handle that discussion. You need to focus on this. The portion of the statement that mentioned the stabilizing brace is a reference to the AR and AK pistols, which have barrels that are shorter than the minimum 16 inches required by the National Firearms Act. This is from the Daily Wire, by the way. The statement said that the pistols with an arm brace are quote-unquote concealable, which doesn't really mean anything legally speaking, and it's also laughable to most gun owners since many AR pistols are more than 2 feet long. The claim that weapons with a pistol brace will be, quote, subject to the requirements of the National Firearms Act means that gun owners will likely be forced to pay a $200 tax stamp on those firearms, which essentially amounts to taxing a group of people who are serious Second Amendment advocates and are largely opponents of Biden and his policies. Do you see what's going on here? Oh, no. This is common sense gun control. This is something that everybody can get behind. This isn't going to affect you and the fact that you can get an AR or the weapons, the firearms that you would like to have as law-abiding citizens. No, it's not going to affect you until you find out you have to pay a $200 tax stamp, and who knows how much more that's going to go up. And then realizing that there are individuals that may not be able to pay that. Sorry, can't pay it. Can't have it. If we don't see it, can't have it. You see how that works, right? because we're told that these are common sense steps. Well, no, they're not. We know exactly what they are, and we know exactly what they're doing. Statement said that the administration was, quote, investing in evidence-based community violence interventions in, quote unquote, urban communities. The administration admitted that cities across the country, which are largely run by Democrats, are seeing a historic spike in homicides, which follows the push by some Democrats and far-left activists to, quote, defund the police, unquote. Statement said that the Department of Justice would release an annual report on firearm tracking. And finally, the administration announced that they're going to nominate this guy, David Chipman, to serve as the director of the ATF. He worked for at Giffords, which advocates for gun bans. CNN called him a fierce advocate for gun control. By the way, he locked his Twitter account. I think I mentioned that earlier, so people can't even see what he stated publicly. However, a comparison of online archives to his current account appears to show that he deleted well over 1,000 tweets. Hey, why do you do that? No guilt there. Everything is fine. Nothing to see here. This is something that most people won't hear about. And again, it's the forest through the trees, right? Is that what we're talking about here? I get it. We're all frustrated and mad over a media that we're told, a fake news legacy media that we're told is not fake news. It's real journalism. They're really digging into these hard-hitting stories and trying to find out the truth. And they are the arbiters of the truth. And then we see what they did to the governor on 60 Minutes and how we're appalled by it. And then they'll double and triple down instead of walking away. Just step away. Just walk away. As my wife likes to say to me, just step away from the donut. It's for your son. It's not for you. Step away from the box. All right, maybe that's exaggerating. It was just one. It wasn't a whole box of donuts. It was one single donut, and I was hungry. Anyway, that when you're talking about stepping away, that we shouldn't be looking at this. And of course, we know this already, right? We already know that this is what they do. That in focusing on that story, we're not focusing, Republicans, not you, you're doing just fine. But Republicans, leadership, need to focus on these details. These are the things that have to be talked about 24/7. These are the things that the American people need to hear about. These are the things that need to be explained specifically why this is a problem. And again, there are even some Republicans who have no problem with common sense gun control laws. They see that there's common ground here. Until you realize that if a Democrat is saying something is common sense, it's not. Because the Democrats said it. Right? I mean, Democrats, they open their mouth and you know that they're lying. They're certainly gaslighting. They're trying to have you believe that something is not what it's, that words don't mean what you think they mean. This is what they do.
This is what you do.
Right.
What you do.
What you do. What you do.
A piece of horse manure.
No. Really? That's where we're going this morning? And let me say this once again before we take a break. When Democrats want you to believe that the words that you know for a fact are what they are and the meanings of words are not in any way, shape, or form what you've been brought up to understand. When Democrats are doubling and tripling and quadrupling down that an infrastructure bill of trillions of dollars, when it has things like paid leave, childcare, and caregiving, that is infrastructure. And that if you're not on board with this, somehow you're a bigot, you're a racist, you're a homophobe. And I'm not kidding. Who was it? There was one Democrat in New York who said that if you're going against the infrastructure bill that talks about care workers and money for child care and dental vision and hearing and care for the elderly, and they say roads and bridges are built predominantly by men, care work is done predominantly by women. Those who say the former is infrastructure while the latter is not are telling on themselves. What do you think they're telling? Do you see what they're doing? You and I know that that's not what infrastructure is, but they're telling you, yes, it is. And they're going to gaslight and they're going to continue to say this over and over and over and over again until The dopes on the left go, yeah, they're right. That's exactly what it means. No, here's the definition. Here's what it... Yeah, but they say it's not. We'll talk about this more in detail coming up. 239-479-5592. All right, Matt Caldwell's on the way at 7:05. Get ready, buckle up. We're going to talk about some of the things that are happening in our school districts across Southwest Florida, including something that he described as sexual fascism in our schools, our elementary schools. What's going on here? All right, we'll get to that coming up. Your calls and texts as well, 239-479-5592. It's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Rush Limbaugh. We never expected this. The Me Too move. iPhone. We are learning about smartphone size privilege. It's evil. You see, my friends, a new iPhone stands accused of sexism by women. Ladies say the big 6.5-inch screen is too large for the average female hand. So now we know. She's too big. Triggering a bash. New York Times writer Zanepta Fekci says that her with small hands are stuck with something they can't hold. British journalist Caroline Perez says the big device is too large for her grip and her a repetitive strain injury. It's science, folks. A 2015 study showed the average man's hand is an inch larger than a woman's, and every inch matters with big phone design. British MP Jess Phillips complains the default standard in technology is always that which suits a man. It's, according to an August 2018 survey of denim brands, the big iPhone will not fit into 60% of women's jeans pockets. So it's time to end dominance. When will sexist pig designers learn? When will we have Senate hearings over the discriminatory size of the iPhone? By the way, you can buy one that's only 4.7 inches, ladies. I mean, what's the deal here?
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job, but then all you can do is hope the right person, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at zipper.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to a job. You get qualified kits fast. So while other companies have a lot of heads looking for the needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 a job in ZipRecruiter get acquainted through the site with first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try Zip for free. Free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com.
Nothing runs like a. I need something I can depend on. I need a Kubota.
At Florida Coast Equipment, we have equipment you can depend on. We have the best deals in town for Kubota tractors, mowers, utility vehicles, and Kubota construction equipment. Our family has been Florida's premier Kubota dealership for over 30 years. Whether you're buying, renting, or simply need your Kubota service, come on over to Florida Coast Equipment in Naples. Equipment you can depend on at a price you'll love. Florida Coast Equipment. We've got you covered.
Hey, it's Drew Steele visiting with my friend TJ, owner of the Floormeisters in Naples, where if you're talking Core-Tech, you're talking Floormeisters. And the one thing that I love, TJ, is when we're talking about pricing, you got to be straight up with the pricing, right?
Yep, we buy more Core-Tech every day so we can sell it to you cheaper. I buy it by the pallet, by the truckload, so you're making sure you always get the lowest price possible. We keep it here in our 15,000 square foot store. Big selection, big, beautiful showroom to make sure your wife gets exactly what you want, Drew.
Yeah, and how about me? You know, I like to get what I want as well. And also, of course, the color selection, right? You got some new ones.
Got 100 colors right now, and we're adding about 10 to 15 from Core-Tech that just came out for 2021.
So you want to see it for yourself? Go to the Floormeisters. You're going to really love it. 6281 Naples Boulevard next to Costco. Give them a call, 239-596-4964, or on the web at floormeisters.com. Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, the real estate market's hot right now, but for how long? Well, nobody really knows. If people don't catch up on their mortgage payments because of COVID, the market's going to get flooded with foreclosure inventory, and that's scary because your home's value could plummet. If you thought about selling your home, now is the time to do it. But you don't want to make any costly mistakes. That's why you need to get with Anthony Gomes from GomesBuysHomes.com. See, he's been buying, selling, brokering, and investing in real estate for 20 years. Mistakes in real estate, well, they can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. So Anthony's created a free value pack training that's going to reveal 3 secrets on how to sell your home fast and for top dollar in this crazy real estate market. It's free. It won't cost you anything. Just go to GomesBuysHomes.com now. There's no obligation. GomesBuysHomes.com now.
Pandemic, market drops, elections. Don't let the noise and fear distract you. Where do you go for clarity in uncertain times? I'm Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida's financial planner. For experience, advice on planning for retirement, visit SavingTheInvestor.com.
Hello, Floridians. Today is a good day. Today is a good day to stay comfortable. Today is a good day to have your AC worries taken away. And it's a good day to get service backed by over 50 years of AC excellence. Oh, yes. So if you're having AC problems, get our $49 tune-up, including no breakdown guarantee, and Florida Cool Today will help you get the best from today.
Call today, cool today, FloridaCoolToday.com.
Carrier, turn to the experts.
With the Diamond District, you get the best of both worlds. Jason and Todd are wholesale diamond brokers selling to the public and jewelry stores across the country at wholesale prices. The Diamond District is also a retail store that you can visit every day and see the largest selection of GIA and Forevermark loose certified diamonds.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
The president is ready to take more executive action. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. This time his focus is on guns, following more recent mass shootings like the one at a supermarket in Colorado. Fox's Rachel Sutherland has more live.
Dave, sales of ghost guns, often assembled at home, will be subject to background checks under new executive action from President Biden. Other actions to be announced today, a proposed rule tightening regulations on pistol stabilizing braces, like the one used by the Boulder, Colorado shooter, and a new model for proposed red flag legislation, which states could adopt. Red flag policies allow law enforcement to temporarily seize firearms from people deemed a threat to self or others. The president expected to unveil the actions alongside Attorney General Merrick Garland. Dave?
Rachel, last night shots were fired at a house in Rock Hill, South Carolina. 5 people killed, a doctor and his wife and 2 of their young grandchildren and a man who worked at the home. The suspected gunman was later tracked at a house nearby. The president also keeps pushing a more than $2 trillion plan to rebuild infrastructure.
It's a plan that puts millions of Americans to work to fix what's broken in our country. Tens of thousands of miles of roads and highways, thousands of bridges.
Republicans support that.
But beyond that, they've sort of thrown everything but the kitchen sink into it.
So Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell opposes the bill also because it includes a corporate tax hike. Democratic Senator Joe Manchin thinks that increase is too much, prompting the president to say he's willing to negotiate. Manchin's also come out against any changes to the Senate filibuster, which many Democrats want to sidestep GOP opposition. New allegations at a facility housing migrant children in San Antonio, Texas. Republican Governor Greg Abbott says there are complaints of sexual abuse and kids not having enough food.
The investigation needs to happen immediately, and definitely if the allegations are confirmed, then they need to be moved.
America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Wink News Traffic.
Off to a busy Thursday morning commute in Collier County. We've got 3 crashes along Immokalee Road, one at Vailwood Drive just east of the interstate, another at Twin Eagles Boulevard, and another Immokalee Road crash at Majestic Trails Boulevard right near Valencia Trails. Out on the East Trail heading through mile marker 60 east of State Road 29, we have a crash with injuries that's causing roadblock for a good stretch out there approaching the Collier County line. So if you're heading that direction, you'll want to take Alligator Alley instead of the East Trail. In Cape Coral, we're watching a vehicle fire that's been put out but still causing some delays on Tropicana Parkway at Northwest 33rd Avenue. Heading through Fort Myers and North Fort Myers, I-75 at Bayshore Road, we have a crash with roadblock in an outside eastbound lane. And in Lehigh, we're watching some debris on the road at Parkdale Boulevard and State Road 82. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. Expect a ton of sunshine and a big warm up this afternoon as temperatures inland will reach the mid to even upper 80s with the lower 80s near our immediate coastline. Now, the wind becoming breezy at times, plus the warm, low humidity will allow for an elevated fire danger index once again, but we will get some relief from that by Sunday as rain approaches Southwest Florida, and we get it for multiple days as we look toward next week. I'm Wake News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Drive the lefties at work crazy with the facts. Get up to speed mornings with Drew Steele.
92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
The only thing worse than hiring no law firm after your injury is hiring the wrong law firm. When thousands of people call us every year asking to help them change law firms, I wonder why they ever call the other firm. When you're fighting to get what you deserve, it's go big or go home. We are big for a reason, which is why we've recovered over $9 billion for our clients. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
True relief for back and neck pain.
Are you driving down the road right now with back or neck pain or pain into your arms or legs? Maybe your struggle is getting out of your bed or chair. Maybe you get weakness when you put weight on your leg or swing your golf club. It's time you address this problem once and for all. At Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, these are the conditions that we treat every day, except we treat the root of the problem. No injections or pain meds. Non-surgical spinal decompression, recognized around the country for incredible statistical results for long-term pain relief. Break the cycle of pain from sciatica, stenosis, neuropathy, arthritis, or car accidents. Non-surgical spinal decompression can get your life back. Spinal decompression is safe and comfortable for any age and doesn't involve any hanging upside down. Don't hurt anymore when the answer is only a phone call away. Call our Medicare-friendly office, Johnston Spinal Care, for a free telephone consultation. 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
The real estate market is really hot right now, but for how long? I'm Anthony Gomes from GomesBuysHomes.com. You've heard Drew Steele talk about me on his show. If you're thinking about selling, now is the time. You can get a full market value offer on your home as fast as 24 hours without you having to do repairs, and you pick the closing date. Book your free, no pressure, no obligation consultation now at GomesBuysHomes.com. That's GomesBuysHomes.com.
This is Mike Roberts, Vice President at Mortgage Warehouse, Southwest Florida's mortgage price leader and home of the no closing cost mortgage. No points, no hidden fees, no loan costs, period. If the mortgage you have right now was done prior to COVID-19, you should call us for a free review. At Mortgage Warehouse, we understand how frustrating it can be to make your mortgage payment month after month, and the loan balance just doesn't seem to go down. The payment is mostly interest, but we can help with that. We can combine near record low mortgage rates with our local no closing cost program to improve your mortgage payment right away. You do not have to roll any closing costs into your loan balance to get these ultra-low mortgage rates. You can apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com or call 313-5000. That's 313-5000, mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. So glad you are joining us right now. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live anytime you want to watch. At drewsteele.com. Steele has 3 E's. It's mobile friendly. It's just a simple, basic website, but it's mobile friendly. So when you go there, you can click on the video. You can watch the program. You can watch us live on your computer, on your smart device. And certainly, if you want to go to Facebook, we're still there at Drew Steele Radio. Now, speaking of Facebook, Matt Caldwell yesterday was heated. He was heated like I've never seen and heard and witnessed before. And I'll tell you why in just a second. First, I want to welcome him here this morning because we're going to have a busy hour ahead of us because we've got a lot to dig into. And so I'm so glad that he's here. How are you this morning, sir?
Doing well. Excited to talk about this extremely important topic.
Yeah. And so I don't know. Is heated? Is that fair? Were you a little hot? Were you a little bothered? Were you a little upset by what you were witnessing with this issue that you put up on Facebook on your page?
I'd call it a lot closer to outrage. I mean, honestly,
so.
it's totally unacceptable.
Yeah. So can I read? I want to read what you wrote on the Facebook page. And then I want you to comment about what it is that we're discussing and what you witnessed firsthand and all of what you've got on your Matt Caldwell Facebook page. Is that okay?
Yeah. Go
okay,
right
good.
ahead.
A poster at our local elementary schools. While truly intersex and mentally anguished students deserve respectful, individualized instruction, imposing fad sexuality on the entire school system is an insult beyond the pale. There are only two genders, period. Why even teach a biology course? Our district is telling serious educators and students to leave our district, making it another typical urban failure. I also suspect an elected superintendent would not have cowardly bowed to the sexual fascists. I've dubbed my show today, Sexual Fascism. That's I added that part. No, sexual fascism was part of what he wrote. Don't just rage here on social media. Call, text, email, testify to the Lee County School District. Demand change and get involved now for the 2022 elections. Man, there's a lot to break down with just that. So first of all, people can't see what it is that we're looking at. Explain how this all popped up for you yesterday.
Well, I think late Tuesday night, I got texted a picture of a poster that's gone up at one of our local elementary schools. And it basically instructs that the district is going to allow students, is going to encourage students to make sexuality a choose your own adventure book. And this isn't just a conversation limited to exploring your thoughts about identity in a high school health class. We're talking about a poster that is advertising. In particular, the thing I talked about the post, transgenderism, the latest sexual fad, to elementary school kids that have no concept of what that conversation can even be about. You're talking about children before the age of puberty. Essentially, this entire construct isn't even something that they can grasp. It would be on the scale of telling a first grader that we're going to start talking about algebra today. It's not even something that's in the realm of possibility for them to consider from a concept standpoint, much less just the absolute outrage that I feel thinking about the fact that we're force feeding this school district in Lee County, Florida, the single most consistently conservative political constituency in the state, is somehow been hijacked by what I call the sexual fascism movement. The people that if you don't believe that you can believe anything, then you are somehow a bigot. If you have any standards that are set and rooted in any kind of basic moral philosophy, you clearly are totally disqualified from this conversation. Those folks have overrun the district, and they are setting the policy. And even scarier, Drew, is I don't think this is the opinion of the board. This is being led by activist bureaucrats inside the district who are railroading both apparently the superintendent and the board.
Okay, so by the way, anytime you want to call or comment on this, 239-479-5592. We would love to have your thoughts, your comments about what we're discussing. Absolutely no problem. Come on to the program, 239-479-5592. Now, if you're wondering specifically what the poster talks about, I'm going to read some of it so you understand what we're dealing with. This is Equality Florida Best Practices and Action Steps. And it talks about how with activities, all students are allowed to be involved in school activities that are consistent with their gender identity. As far as dress code, all students may dress and act in ways that are consistent with their gender identity and expression while still abiding by the district code of appearance, including at any school-sponsored event and function. That's dances, graduations, JROTC. Pronouns. All students are to be referred to by their gender pronoun and name that is consistent with their gender identity. And then the one that jumped out for a lot of people, especially on my email that people were commenting on, all students are allowed to access the restrooms that are consistent with their gender identity or be provided appropriate accommodations as requested. Accommodations are determined in collaboration with the district staff on a case-by-case basis. There's more there about identity and clubs and other things, but this is something that is in our elementary schools, let alone across the district. So I guess the first question is, when you see this, what happens if you don't, Matt? What if somebody doesn't in the district do these things? What if they're not referred to by a gender pronoun? What if they're concerned about the way that they're dressed, that maybe is outside of the district's code of appearance, but somebody doesn't want to say anything because they're afraid to cause any waves? What is this going to be backed up by?
Well, that's exactly right. How do you deal with this situation? And now that the district has waded into it affirmatively on one side, they lose the ability to deal with whatever that situation is in a fair manner. There's no way that they can approach any conflict point on this topic without having already given away the answers to where they're going to fall on it. I mean, there's just so many different ways you can attack this, Drew. You know, the school district has in their policies that they're going to be consistent with the state standards. The state standards are silent to this transgender movement. The state has made it clear that they're not going to wade into this and be an advocate for cultural sexual revolution. Well, how is affirmatively putting up education posters encouraged by the district staff and board not curriculum? How is that not education? How is that not teaching? How do you think the students aren't going to get the message? They're being told that you need to believe this. Anything that's put up in your school by a leader in your school is going to be understood by the students. This is something you need to learn and believe in. It means that the district has taken an affirmative stance in support of this ideology. You outlined a number of things that really are concerning here. One of the kind of craziest aspects of this is the district is committing to not inform the parent when a student takes this position. If a student comes in and says, I'm an opposite gender, I need to be accommodated, these are the things you have to deal with, the district has essentially signed up to say they're not going to get the parent involved. They're not going to talk to the parent about that. They're going to deal with the student one-on-one. And just think about how insane that is. There's no other scenario where a student could come in and define for themselves what the rules of engagement would be for their attendance at school. There's nothing else that a student could show up and say, hey, I know I'm 8 years old. I'm not capable of carrying a job, feeding myself, driving myself anywhere, but I get to declare how I'm going to be dealt with without any information, any input by my parent or guardian. It's just absolutely bananas.
Well, that brings up the other point that people were asking me as well, which is this. Who did this? Like, where has been the parent involvement in this discussion about this issue? We know that in the past, we had the issue of celebrating a full month, the LGBTQ community, and taking a whole month to quote unquote celebrate that and figuring out when that's going to be, people pushing back against that and then kind of shelving it. But I don't know how much more discussion there's been about this issue specifically. How did they do this? How does this just happen without parent input? Or did they? Or did we not know about this? Or was this cover of darkness? Specifically, what do we know?
Well, this seems to have come out of a pattern, and there's another topic that people have been talking about recently, which is a letter Gwen Giddens sent to the state with a number of complaints about the district. One of the complaints was that action seems to have devolved, the decision making by the board seems to have devolved out of actual votes taken at a public board meeting and fallen to the level of whatever the perceived consensus of the board at workshops seems to be. That's the direction that the executive leadership of the district's going to follow. I mean, again, just total banana republic kind of nonsense. You can't take action. You can't make policy as a unit of government without your legislative body taking an affirmative vote one way or the other. And this policy, this rollout, appears to have come out of a workshop that was a couple of weeks ago. There was no formal vote taken. At least one of the board members was very vocal in their opposition. The way it's been characterized by others is that most of the board members were silent, not outspokenly affirmative in support of this policy, but not outspokenly against it. And so the district staff, the personnel, perceived this as, okay, we're good to go with this whole project, and we're going to roll it out again without any formal decision making, any change to the policy. I go back to my earlier comment. The policy of the district is that they will not teach and advocate and provide curriculum that speaks to the transgender question. And yet this is exactly that. There's no way to interpret this but in violation of that district policy.
Now, a couple of things come to mind. The first thing is that for everybody that's listening, Matt Caldwell is joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. We're talking about how we found out yesterday, and I found out through multiple individuals, a poster at our local elementary schools talking about Equality Florida, best practices and action steps, like all students being allowed to access the restrooms that are consistent with their gender identity, and how you have to refer to them in their proper pronouns, and how in schools that they're going to be involved in activities consistent with their gender identity when it comes to sports and participating. And I don't know how many of you knew that this was taking place in the Lee County School District, and whether or not it's happening in other districts, I don't know. But the fact that this is out there, and I don't know how much input you had individually as parents. And again, a couple of things come to mind with this story. Number one is, man, when he talked about this, Matt Caldwell, in his Facebook post about getting involved, the 2022 elections, listen, if you are bothered by this, if you're bothered by the actions of your school board, wherever it is in Southwest Florida and your district, and you're concerned about this, then vote them out. Make this stop. The way you make it stop is to hold people accountable. You have to do that. Don't be afraid to ask the tough questions. Don't be fooled by people who are going to be giving you all the things that you want to hear about how great the district is and the wonderful things that we can't even talk about, the wonderful and great things that are going on because there's too much of this other stuff that is happening, that is going on without the process, the proper process that's supposed to be put in place. And you can make this stop. And to be able to question, you can question the people that are running. If they're telling you this is a nonpartisan race, you can still ask them tough questions about where they stand. If they are conservatives, if they have your values, and if they balk at it, then you know the answer. Toughen up, everybody. Let's not make this just about a national issue when it comes to the elections, and we huff and puff about election integrity and things that are happening, and former presidents that you believe won the election and how things were denied, and how things. Don't make it about a national issue. Make it about a local issue, because these are the things that are affecting your kids directly right now. Okay, enough of that. So anyway, the other part of this is that I don't know whether or not there are specific individuals who have been speaking about the thing that you brought up. Our district is telling serious educators and students to leave our district. So what you're suggesting is another part of this story is how hard it is to bring people into the district to teach. Are you suggesting that they see situations like this, they hear about someone on the school board who is sending the governor a letter talking about the waste and fraud and abuse and the things that are happening, and people, and then we have the district complaining that they can't find teachers when there are people from the outside looking in going, do I want to be involved with any of this? Is that what you're suggesting?
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, you've got a district that consistently demonstrates dysfunction, particularly at the board and the top bureaucracy. You know, what's so challenging, so frustrating about it, Drew, is we do have from a educational standards perspective a pretty good district to be as big a county as we are. I think the last stat is there's not a single school in our district under a C. And so, you know, you go anywhere else in the country where you got nearly 1 million people, it'd be hard to find that. And so that's what just blew my mind is you've got a district that has really dedicated teachers on the front lines doing their best to try to focus on the basics of education. And now you've got a school board, a board who, by at the very least, being unwilling as a majority to actually take control of the policymaking of this district and just letting the bureaucracy run wild is now going to undermine, I think, people's ability to have faith in this district, to have faith that if they go there to be a teacher, that they're going to be respected and be allowed to actually teach. I mean, the biggest frustration I have is the issue itself, right? The transgenderism, the idea that there's multiple genders is just ridiculous. Yes, there are an incredibly rare number of instances where a person is born with both sets of chromosomes, and that is an individual circumstance that needs to be accommodated and addressed. But the rest of this is just sexual fads. It's just madness. It's just whoever decides, you know, they want to feel like this or feel like that, and encouraging that. I mean, it's not lost on me that it's 2021. It is really difficult to educate in this environment, in an environment with nearly 95,000 students who come from very diverse backgrounds. We are not a monoculture here in Lee County in any way whatsoever. We have people coming from every kind of ideology politically, every kind of religious background, and every kind of perspective on these really hot button questions. Yeah. So it's not lost on me that this is a difficult job to try to wade through this and treat people fairly. What crossed the line here is that they have become an outright advocate. And what really, really is just hits home on this, Drew, this district has a repeated history of whining and groaning. I'm talking about at the staff level particularly, whining and groaning to the legislative delegation, to the county commission, to anyone and everyone above them in the political order who will listen, saying, don't tell us what to do. We need to set our own policies. We have the ability and the intelligence and the capacity to educate these kids the way that we see fit. And then if you read through the board documents, what was provided them at this workshop, the entire thing is an amalgam of federal case law and executive orders from Joe Biden and some big brother telling them that this is what they should do. And because somebody somewhere else said that they should do this, not because that there is any way whatsoever a parental movement for this in our community, but because some big brother somewhere told them that they ought to probably do this, this bureaucracy has taken a proactive, activist stance to push this into our schools.
And I might make the other case too, where it may have been a tease of you might ought to want to do this, but it also might be if you don't, boy, you think they're in lawsuits? Wait till you see the lawsuits that are going to be coming up. And I would rather fight some of the lawsuits that are going in this direction than to have to fight some of the lawsuits that we have in the past about no bid contracts and the kind of things that we've heard about that we're going to discuss about the issues with the district that we're going to get to. So here's the thing. Matt Caldwell is joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. We're talking about Equality Florida and this best practices and action steps posted at our local elementary schools about making sure you use the proper pronouns, and students will be able to play in sports consistent with their gender identity. And oh, by the way, students are allowed to access restrooms that are consistent with their gender identity. All of this happening in our district. We're going to get to these issues specifically. Dawn and Cindy and Ramey, I see your phone calls. Stay there. We're going to get lots of calls coming in. Want your comments on this. And then when we come back, we're also going to dig into it was Gwen Gittens from the Lee County School Board, a board member who did send a letter to the governor. Well, what about what was in that letter? What about the specifics as to what was being discussed? We need to talk about that And all for the reason that you got to remember, it's your tax dollars. This is happening under your watch, and you can make a change if these things bother you. Stop sitting back and thinking that everything is fine here locally and the fight is nationally. It's local. It's locally right here. So when we come back, we'll have more with you and Matt Caldwell coming up next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Get more than what the internet tells you. Get up to speed on The Drive with Trey Radel. Weekdays 5 to 7.
92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
You've been lied to. Lied to by corrupt Washington politicians and the Wall Street propaganda machine. Hi, I'm Inc. magazine best-selling author Brett Kitchen, and I want to give you a free copy of my brand new book, Wealth Beyond Wall Street, because we all know another market crash could be right around the corner. After losing 35% in my IRA in the crash years ago, I said enough, and since then I discovered a way to grow money potentially double digits, reduce taxes dramatically, and also have my money protected when the next stock market crash hits. When the next market crash hits, you lose nothing. Call Wealth Beyond Wall Street now to get your free copy and talk with a specialist to discover this little-known strategy to get potential double-digit growth during good years and never lose when the next stock market crash hits, all while building a tax-advantaged retirement. Call 1-800-346-9797 to discover this asset that people like Walt Disney and JCPenney use to grow wealthy. Plus, get one of just 97 free books left. We even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. Call 1-800-346-9797. That's 1-800-346-9797, 1-800-346-9797.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. We'll get it done right and get it done safely. Call now for $77 off any repair.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Limitations and restrictions may apply. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Youthful, energetic, happy, sexual, strong, physical, no fear. Taking the bull by the horns.
Old, tired, joint aches, overweight, wrinkled, depressed, sex. I remember what that was.
In men, low testosterone can lead to muscle loss, extra body fat, fatigue, depression, and erectile dysfunction. In women, hormonal imbalance can similarly cause extra fat around your middle and thighs, lack of desire, feminine dryness, and exhaustion. Suboptimal hormone levels are associated with the development of disease states like osteoporosis, heart disease, and stroke. At Neogenics, we specialize in testosterone, growth hormone promoters, bioidentical hormones, and nutritional programs designed to correct these imbalances and make you feel revitalized. See why patients from across the country are coming to Neogenics and take the first step to feeling great again. Call Neogenics for a free consultation at 277-9999 or find us online at neogenicmd.com. That's 277-9999. Neogenics, rediscover your youth.
Imagine replacing your old kitchen with the kitchen of your dreams. Brand new custom-made cabinet doors. Drawer fronts, hand-finished by true craftsmen. Designer hardware, new hinges, and everything installed beautifully in less than a week, start to finish. Expensive?
Ready, baby,
no.
on the radio.
To the contrary, with refacing by Cornerstone, you'll save so much, we should really talk about your master bathroom, too. Go for wow. go for Cornerstone.
NCH Heart Institute is home to the most experienced and most dedicated team of physicians and nurses in Southwest Florida. Over the past 30 years, NCH Heart Institute has mastered the quality, the care, and the holistic patient experience that can only be found within a nationally ranked heart institute. Caring for a patient, mind, heart, and body. That's the cornerstone of our critical care team, which ranks in the top 2% of all hospitals in America. NCH Heart Institute, at the heart of what matters most.
Being involved in a legal dispute can leave you feeling like you've lost control. I'm Eli Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Understanding the law and the rules of evidence can mean the difference between winning or losing your case. If you are involved in a legal dispute and are not sure of your options, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples.
This break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Wink News traffic.
Good morning. Major slowdowns on Bayshore Road heading eastbound toward I-75 because of a crash out there blocking one of the left lanes. So watch out for some delays. Avoid the area if you can for the time being. You may just want to take 41 southbound into downtown Fort Myers to get around that closure and delay. Also tracking a closure along the East Trail. If you're getting ready to head toward the East Coast, you do not want to take 41. It is blocked off east of State Road 29. Alligator Alley running up to speed as a much better alternate route this morning. Also in Gateway, we have a crash at Daniels Parkway and Gateway Boulevard with some westbound slowdowns approaching the intersection. Also seeing slowdowns because of a crash on 41 southbound right in front of the Bears Furniture Store in Fort Myers. That's just south of Colonial Boulevard. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. Expect a ton of sunshine and a big warm-up this afternoon as temperatures inland will reach the mid to even upper 80s with the lower 80s near our immediate coastline. Now, the wind becoming breezy at times, plus the warm, low humidity will allow for an elevated fire danger index once again, but we will get some relief from that by Sunday as rain approaches Southwest Florida, and we get it for multiple days as we look toward next week. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Tougher than plastic, harder than wood. Nothing beats the power of steel.
Drew Steel, weekday mornings at 6 on 92.5 Fox News.
It's a hot afternoon, and you're listening to the news. And now, you're hot under the collar, too. I'm Matt from Island Air. When you choose an AC contractor, you're entrusting that company with the air that you and your family breathe. A healthy unit means a healthier household. Island Air has a long history in Southwest Florida and hundreds of customer reviews that you can see on our website at islandairfl.com, where you will see the Island Air difference. Want to try us out? Our $99 system saver one-time maintenance is guaranteed.
Let's face it, when things start to return to normal, it's not going to be our normal. Too much has changed. The way we work, the way we shop, the way we learn. When the pandemic hit, we had no choice except to adapt to new ways of working and living. And even with the hope of a vaccine that works, the world is different than it was a year ago. It's the same with investment and retirement planning. And you probably know it deep down. Your old plan needs to adapt to meet a changed world. But how? Annex Wealth Management can help. It starts with a call. With one call, you can start seeing your future more clearly. If your financial picture is cloudy because you're getting conflicting tax, investment, and estate planning advice, help is a call or a click away. Annex Wealth Management's team works to get your investment plan in line with your tax plan and your estate plan. Build confidence with one team working to create one comprehensive plan as a fee-only fiduciary. Annex Wealth Management. One team, one plan, one fee. AnnexWealth.com.
Hey, this is Papa, reporting that we're still getting a lot of calls from homeowners who were told they needed a new re-roof after Irma. Most of these folks had a few broken tiles that are obsolete. Our company has 2 warehouses filled with the older obsolete tiles that have never been used. If you think that you may not need a new re-roof, but only need to replace some obsolete tile, please call me for our free tile roof inspection. We may be able to repair and seal your roof to make it look new and beautiful, a lot cheaper than replacing the entire roof. If you call me for our free inspection, we'll place you on our proactive list, and in the event of another hurricane, you won't have to go searching for a contractor because we will automatically call you to see if you need assistance. Let me show you how we can clean and seal and protect your roof, pavers, and pool decks. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Carrie, and Cody, call us at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. We're open 24/7, and you can call us right now for a free tile roof inspection. License number CCC 1326213.
Hello, I'm Brian Resney, president of Resney Wealth Management and host of the Resney Wealth Report and TV show on the weekends. Investors come to my TV and radio shows to learn and to get educated so they can make better decisions about their retirement and their portfolio. What's your risk management strategy? Are you willing to subject your portfolio to another massive decline in a set it and forget it strategy, or are you looking for a difference? Listen to my show Sunday mornings, 10 to noon on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it, guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at gooddealsappliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
All right, 239-479-5592, the talk and text line streaming live if you want to watch, drewsteele.com. Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate that. Matt Caldwell joining us once again as we have been talking about this story, something that he was really heated about yesterday, brought it up on his Facebook page, Equality Florida, best practices and action steps, and this in our local elementary schools here in the Lee County School District. Apparently, there are activities that they're going to get to do. Students allowed to be involved in school activities consistent with their gender identity. Students to be referred to by their gender pronouns and names consistent with their gender identity. Oh, by the way, all students are allowed to access the restrooms that are consistent with their gender identity. Did you know all of this is a part of what they've been talking about there in the Lee County School District? And I wonder what other districts around Southwest Florida have the same thing that is happening, and the concerns that maybe you have not yet had the ability to express. And so, Matt, are you ready for some phone calls? I have a whole lot of folks that have been waiting.
Let's take them.
All right, let's go to Dawn. Dawn's in Fort Myers, wanted to comment on this. Hey, Dawn, how are you this morning?
Good morning, Drew. I'm great. Matt, I am so with you. I have to tell you, I was lucky to graduate high school. I don't have a degree. My kids are raised. They graduated in the top 5% of their high school class. And the reason is because as a parent, I sacrificed and worked nights, and my husband worked days so that we could be with our kids and help teach them. This all lies with the parents. I think, this started years ago with the left infiltrating and teaching our kids things that parents just weren't involved back then. But if you want to stop this, it's got to be with the parents. The parents have got to say, enough is enough. You're not going to do it. And if you don't agree with it, pull your kid out of school and put them somewhere else. You have to do what you have to do to start at the local level. Drew, I'm so with you. It all starts local.
Yeah, it does. Dawn, thanks for the call. And again, parents could do something, right, Matt, with their vote. That is their power, is their vote, number one. And number two, listen, when you talk about school choice and what we have done here in the state of Florida, that needs to be expanded. I know that they're talking about that in the legislature, but how more important than ever it is. And first, I want you to comment on that, because then I'm going to play a little clip before we go to some more calls, because I think it's something that is very important when it comes to school choice and what we're doing and not doing in our districts. Comment on what Dawn said.
Well, absolutely. It is the parent's responsibility. That is the number one challenge in public schools today, are the parents that have abandoned their role and are leaving it up to the teachers and the administrators to be the ones in charge of raising their children. And unfortunately, that's not going to turn out well in the long run, because nobody can care for a child the way that the parent, the grandparent, the guardian can, the person that's invested in that child's life. Yeah. But the bigger picture, you hit it right on the head. We get the government we deserve. And if you are not involved in voting for and advocating for and campaigning for the right people to serve on our school board, the folks that are going to stand up to this kind of bureaucratic tyranny and set policies and demand those policies be obeyed, then we get exactly what we deserve here. And that's what is so frustrating. We, the voters, we, the people, the parents and the voters of this county have the ability to decide what this school district looks like. And frankly, I just don't think as a community we have taken it as seriously as we needed to. I think that's evident. There's no way to deny that fact when you see an action like this that is just so totally out of sync with where I believe the majority of this community is and where they want to take their children in this school district.
Yeah, and I know you brought this up earlier, and again, I think this is another important aspect to it. Who did this? Who you brought up in your Facebook post about our district is telling serious educators and students to leave the district, making it another typical urban failure. I also suspect an elected superintendent would not have cowardly bowed to the what you called sexual fascists. I love those words. Go ahead. So explain.
Well, listen, like everything, Drew, it all comes down to money. If you read through the board packet at the workshop, the only thing that is at risk, if this district, say that we all come to the conclusion that the feds are going to win out, that Joe Biden's perspective on the world, that everybody can live a choose your own adventure book when it comes to their gender and sexuality, and a district that doesn't abide by that is going to lose federal money. That's it. They are not going to send the National Guard to force boys to go to the girls' restroom. It just is not going to happen. The only downside risk to this district, if everything went against us and we got sued and we lost in court, the punishment is that we lose some federal funding. And I'm going to tell you, as a parent and as a voter in this district, if that's the choice we have to make, I'll take it. I will take the freedom from that kind of bureaucratic tyranny at the federal level in order for us here in Southwest Florida and Lee County to have the freedom to make our own choices.
But you know what the problem is, Matt, and here's the problem, and here's the dirty little secret. The district individuals will demagogue this and make it sound like your kids are not being educated properly. They can't do their jobs. Teachers can't teach. It's an abomination. We can't do anything without that money. And it's a failure unless we get it. And they will force you to make a decision that would be different than what you believe, even if it's not true. Even if they do have the money and they do have the resources and it's their mismanagement of the money. No. That's not the issue. They just don't have enough of it. That's what it is. Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh, no, 100%. They will always say they don't have enough money. But look, I think if there's a real risk here, they have a far higher risk of losing their money when parents take their students out of school and send them to a Hope Scholarship. I mean, I think there's a case to be made that the district is the bully here. They are a bully. The district bureaucracy is bullying the parents and the students of this district. And that is the litmus test by which a student can receive a Hope Scholarship and go to any school of their choice outside of the district. Which do you think is a higher risk? That you lose some relatively piddly federal money tied to whatever Joe Biden's whim is today, or that you really hack off the parents that finally say enough is enough, the ones that are most invested in their kids, the ones that are the parents that are making the district a success in as much as it is, because they're the ones, as your caller said a moment ago, that are most involved in their kids' lives. Those are the parents that if they don't get satisfaction, if they don't get respected, they're going to take their kids out of the district, and that's a lot more money that they have to worry about. And if we want to get down to the brass tacks, this is a binary choice that the bureaucracy has pushed on this community, and they're going to have to choose whose side they're on when it comes to the policy and when it comes to the money.
Let's take some more calls, 239-479-5592. We're talking about what we found out in schools all over Southwest Florida and Lee County. A poster at local elementary schools, especially of Equality Florida and best practices and action steps that are being taken, apparently whether you like it or not. Students allowed to be involved in school activities that are consistent with their gender identity. Here, all students allowed to access the restrooms that are consistent with their gender identity. Students have to be referred to by their gender pronoun and name that is consistent with their gender identity. And what if all of this doesn't take place? What's the force? What is the action that would be taken against teachers, against individuals, against staff that wouldn't follow this? Did you know this is happening, and did you have a say in it? Ramey is in Fort Myers. Hey, Ramey.
Hi, Drew. Well, I watched both of the meetings last week where this was being discussed, and this is just a blatant example of government overreach. I'm currently obtaining my PhD right now in public policy, and my jaw was on the floor when I was watching this. We've got local school district employees presenting information that wasn't even correct. The statistics thrown out during this workshop were inflated. I heard the number 18% of students right now are dealing with gender issues. It's nowhere near that number.
1 out of every 4?
Nowhere near that number.
1 out of every 5.
Yeah, you can go to the CDC website and figure those statistics out yourself if you really want to. But the best estimates is out of 98,000 students here. This is probably affecting less than 200. So to change policies when it's government overreach. The presenters were not prepared. They were not experts in the field. It was just shocking.
Well, this is the workshop. This was not a school board meeting necessarily. This was just a workshop to discuss.
Right. Yeah. Right. But we have to speak up here because we have a superintendent that's running rogue. Who gave the direction for this? There was a book read by a school board member that was just unbelievable. We have to speak up, Lee County. We have to say, we want elected officials writing good researched policies that are going to benefit this community. And this was not well documented. I don't know what the outcome of this was. No specific policy change was proposed, but folks, it's coming. Yeah. It's coming.
Well, Rami, thanks for the call there. I appreciate it. And by the way, there's nothing like talking about the education, and I say just about 20% is 1 out of 4. Okay, guilty. Okay, I get it because I see the text line. People are laughing at me. It's not fair. It's true, but it's not nice. But anyway, I digress. What about what Rami said there, Matt?
No, she's hit the nail on the head. You're talking about maybe 200 students out of a district with an excess of 90,000 students. So when I posted and said, look, in the legitimate cases where somebody is genuinely mentally anguished, where they're struggling with this at the same level as other issues that we know students struggle with, suicidal thoughts, and how are they going to be successful in dealing with bullying issues, these are things that need to be addressed on an individual case-by-case basis. That's why we have guidance counselors in the schools. It's why we train the teachers to recognize the symptoms of true mental illness, of anguish, of true suicidal depression, so that they can reach out, help, and identify those circumstances that need to be addressed individually. What this reeks of is management failure 101. The worst mistake, easiest but worst mistake that you see over and over again from managers in an employment scenario is you have 500 employees and one of them continually disregards the policies. They take smoke breaks at the wrong time. They leave they don't change the coffee filters. They leave the paper out of the machine. And rather than the manager going and dealing with that one employee, who everybody knows is the one who needs to have the issues addressed one-on-one, they send out a blanket email to the whole organization and yell at all 500 employees and tell all 500, just a reminder, here are the things that you're supposed to be doing. It is cowardice. It is a failure of leadership. And that is the same kind of mentality that's come to play here. Rather than stepping up to the plate and being prepared to deal with what are challenging and difficult issues, that is what the job is. They have taken the cowardly way out, published this broad stroke poster, and thrown it up in every one of the schools, but by extension, taking an affirmative position on this question. And all because it's about money. That's the only risk here, is that Joe Biden will turn off the money spigot. That is the only punishment that could happen to this district if we said no. If we said we're going to teach what we know is science, that there are only 2 sets of chromosomes, we're only going to teach what everyone in this community believes in the vast majority. Getting back to who is in charge of this school district. This school district is here to educate our children, and the parents and the voters in this district are the ones who need to be in charge, whose beliefs should be respected. And until somebody else who has a higher authority comes in and tells us we can't, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, if we come to it. I don't think it'll ever come to that.
As a community, Not as an individual, not as an unelected bureaucrat, not as an unelected superintendent, for example, to make a decision for us. Not as one single person with an agenda, whatever it may be, at whatever level. That's not how this works. That's not what we do. We do this together as a community, as family members, as parents who care. So let's do this. Let's take a. I know I'm looking at all the calls coming in. This is an awkward situation, Matt, because right now I've got to do Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. I've got to do this today. But we're not going to do it right now because here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do Drew's College at 8:40 instead of right now. We're going to move it today because this is such an important topic. I don't want to miss this. And we do have a $100 gift certificate from Kenzie Med Spa and Wellness Center that we're going to give away. Thanks to Kenzie Med Spa, located on 6th Avenue South in Naples. They're fantastic. And we're going to do this, and we're going to move it coming up at 8:40. So we're still going to do Drew's College. We're just not going to do it right now. So I want you to be aware of that. So if you love playing Drew's College, you'll get to do that less than an hour from now. We will do it. But we've got to continue this conversation. We've got a lot of people that are on hold that want to talk. Matt, can I carry you over the break?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. 239-479-5592. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Cash with our Progressive Home and Auto Bundle and use the money to buy a new boat.
Who's ready to water ski?
This is not a real testimonial. Sure, customers can save big money with Progressive, but not enough for a new boat. They'll probably spend it on rent or gas money or maybe one of those little plastic wading pools for the yard.
Ahoy there!
Is what the captain might say on the toy boat in your wading pool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Spring sales drive, Marty.
You moving them doggies out, Marty, man?
Yeah, sure, everything goes.
Oh,
yep.
So you're marking them up to sit on the lot another year.
No.
Marty, you know you can't beat Victory Lane Chevy's huge roundup of new 2021 Chevy Equinox LTs with up to 20% off MSRP.
Who says?
Or choose new 2021 Chevy Traverse LT, up to 15% off MSRP. Marty, you ever see those Western movies with the gigantic cattle drives?
Yes, I have. I've seen that.
Well, this isn't one of them, but it's close. The savings are blooming at Victory Lane Chevrolet's Spring Sales Drive. Find new roads and save up to 20% off MSRP on new 2021 Chevy Equinox or new Chevy Traverse with up to 15% off MSRP. All with our goal of 100% credit approval. It's sales drive time, buckaroos, at Victory Lane Chevrolet on the corner of Fowler and Winkler. Online, victorylanechevrolet.com. Taxes and fees extra. All rebates to dealer. Offers with approved credit and do not combine. Expires 4/30/2021.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Retire with TriFound with the TriFound Financial Team, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retire with TriFound, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon. Insurance products offered through TriFound Financial, LLC.
Nothing runs like a... I need something I can depend on. I need a Kubota.
At Florida Coast Equipment, we have equipment you can depend on. We have the best deals in town for Kubota tractors, mowers, utility vehicles, and Kubota construction equipment. Our family has been Florida's premier Kubota dealership for over 30 years. Whether you're buying, renting, or simply need your Kubota service, come on over to Florida Coast Equipment in Naples. Equipment you can depend on at a price you'll love. Florida Coast Equipment. We've got you covered.
Hello, Floridians. Today is a good day. Today is a good day to stay comfortable. Today is a good day to have your AC worries taken away. And it's a good day to get service backed by over 50 years of AC excellence.
Oh, yes.
So if you're having AC issues, get a new Carrier system and save up to $2,000 in rebates, plus 6 months no payments. And Florida Cool Today will help you get the best from today.
Call today, cool today, FloridaCoolToday.com.
Carrier, turn to the experts.
Hey guys, Dr. Amy here, your favorite chiropractor. We're back for your daily dose of Did You Know Chiropractic can help with that. And today we talk about cognitive function. Are you struggling with your memory, or maybe you notice that it's taking you longer to process information? Do you also notice that your reaction time is slower than it used to be? Maybe you've just decided that this is what getting old looks like, or maybe that's what some doctor has just told you that this is just from getting old, but studies actually show that getting regular chiropractic care, specifically getting adjusted in your neck, can dramatically improve your cognitive function. So if you struggle with memory loss, slowed reaction time, or slowed processing time, and you're wondering if chiropractic can help you too, call us at 239-628-4899. That phone number is 239-628-4899. And remember, your power is on.
This is State Representative Spencer Roach with a Week 5 legislative update. Last Wednesday, we hit the halfway mark on our 60-day session, and we're making every day count in our fight to defend the Constitution and protect liberty. This week, we voted to require Florida students to receive education on the dangers of communist ideology. As the liberal left works to destroy the foundation of our nation, it's imperative our children understand how and why the founding principles created the freest country on earth. House Resolution 145, which I co-sponsored, also passed out of its first committee. This resolution denounces socialism in favor of individual liberty and should be a no-brainer, but every single Democrat voted in support of socialism, which proves that they are still hell-bent on transforming this country. Thank God we have a Republican majority, and we need your help to keep it. This is State Representative Spencer Roach. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned, stay engaged, and remember that this is your government, and we work for you. Sponsored by Friends of Spencer Roach, P.O. Box 3179, North Fort Myers, Florida, 33918.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling Tip of the Day. Kobe Cooling has been around a very long time. It's spelled kind of funny, too. Kobie Kooling. There's other companies out there with similar sounding names, but there's only one Kobe Cooling. If you want the one and only Kobe Cooling, dial 239-482-1542. The only completely NATE certified mechanic staff in South Florida. So remember, if you want the company that's been voted the best year after year, you want Kobe Cooling. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in this business since 1949. 239-482-1542.
People sometimes may wonder why they need a big law firm after their injury. Imagine you're on your way to work and then, bam, your whole life changes. You're injured and now you have to fight for justice. Your opponent is not the driver of the car that hit you. It's their insurance company. When you're fighting to get what you deserve, it's go big or go home. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Is foot pain making your life miserable? The Good Feet store specializes in foot pain relief. Call 552-FEET or visit us at the Good Feet store in Naples or our newest location in Fort Myers. Or stop in for a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox
Dave Anthony,
News.
Fox News. That's what President Biden will do today.
It's a series of proposed rules by the Department of Justice, including one targeting so-called ghost guns. Those are homemade or makeshift firearms that lack serial numbers.
Fox's Kevin Cork. The president also wants DOJ to set up a model for state red flag laws on how to keep guns away from those considered dangerous to themselves or others. The president's also pushing a more than $2 trillion infrastructure plan that includes a corporate tax hike Republicans oppose.
But we got to pay for this. We got to pay. There's many other ways we can do it. But I'm willing to negotiate that.
Democratic Senator Joe Manchin also says the tax hike is too big, and the Democrat is also taking a stand on something else. Fox's Rachel Sutherland explains live.
Dave, the Senate filibuster, a tool to delay voting on legislation, should never be eliminated or weakened, according to Senator Joe Manchin, who wrote an op-ed for the Washington Post. The West Virginia Democrat argues doing so would only increase political gridlock and dysfunction. Senator Manchin is also not a fan of budget reconciliation, a process that allows one party to bypass the other to pass legislation, such as the recent massive coronavirus relief bill. Dave?
Rachel, a Republican Congressman Lee Zeldin just announced on Fox and Friends he's running to unseat Democratic New York Governor Andrew Cuomo.
Everyone is coming to the conclusion, whether you're Republican, Democrat, anywhere in between, that this guy has been there too long. It's time to go.
Cuomo is facing sexual misconduct allegations and a COVID nursing home death controversy. The Masters golf tournament is just teeing off, and some black church groups plan to protest in the outcry over Georgia's new election law. Fred Ridley is the chairman of the Augusta National Golf Club.
There have been calls for boycotts and other punitive measures. Unfortunately,
those actions often impose the greatest burdens on the most vulnerable in our society.
America's listening to Fox News.
Woke up. Wink News. Traffic.
The East Trail still shut down this morning because of a crash from early on today. East of State Road 29, there are injuries in that crash, and that's going to be right near Monument Lake Campground. If you're heading out that direction, just want to take Alligator Alley instead. 75 in Fort Myers backed up because of a few minor crashes all off to the side of the road. But there's one northbound near mile marker 135, another southbound near Luckett Road at mile marker 139, again off to the side, just causing some congestion. Bayshore Road very backed up eastbound approaching the interstate because of a crash. And in Gateway, in Daniels Parkway, Gateway Boulevard, we're watching a crash right now causing westbound slowdowns. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. Expect a ton of sunshine and a big warm-up this afternoon as temperatures inland will reach the mid to even upper 80s with the lower 80s near our immediate coastline. Now, the wind becoming breezy at times, plus the warm, low humidity will allow for an elevated fire danger index once again, but we will get some relief from that by Sunday as a rain approaches Southwest Florida, and we get it for multiple days as we look toward next week. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
We need to get back to the times when you could agree to disagree and help your neighbors.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Hi, this is Earl Ron. I'm the president of New South Window Solutions. What I like people to understand about our company is what's unique about us. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. We go out of our way to make it easy. If you're thinking about buying new windows, consider New South. And don't even think about hiring a middleman until you see what our factory can do for you. New South windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers.
Going on now, save 35% off factory direct windows and doors. Call 1-800-NEW-WINDOWS.
Ever purchased an online item and either it doesn't fit, has missing parts, or became damaged? Trying to save a few bucks can end up costing more. My Shower Door is a locally owned and operated family business that measures, manufactures, and installs our own brand of frameless shower doors right here in Southwest Florida. And we were just named Lee County's Manufacturer of the Year. With almost 80,000 shower doors installed, we have the experience and expertise. Plus, estimates are always free. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
You probably know Lusk Dray Sites in Talisano for car accidents and other personal injury matters. But did you know they have attorneys who specialize in many other areas of the law? Whether you're in need of creating or updating your will and testament, or need advice about divorce or child custody, they have an attorney for you. And unlike the all-too-familiar competitors, at Lusk Dray Sites in Talisano, you'll be meeting directly with the attorney handling your matter, not some coordinator or case manager looking to increase their numbers. Lusk Dray Sites in Talisano. They've been serving you for over 35 years. Have a family law question? Are you seeking a divorce or have child custody issues you need resolved? Do you need assistance with dividing property? At Lusk Dray Sites in Talisano, their attorneys can walk you through this difficult process as the needed advocate to protect your legal rights. They've been here for you in the past, they're here today, and will be here for you tomorrow. LDTlaw.com. Offices Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Naples.
It's Rockstar Harley's pre-owned spring clearance sale this week. Hundreds of Harleys tagged with liquidation pricing. Good credit, bad credit, no credit. 100% of applications accepted. Save thousands this week only at Rockstar Harley's pre-owned spring clearance sale. It ends this Sunday. Unapproved credit.
Let's face it, when things start to return to normal, it's not going to be our normal. Too much has changed. The way we work, the way we shop, the way we learn. When the pandemic hit, we had no choice except to adapt to new ways of working and living. And even with the hope of a vaccine that works, the world is different than it was a year ago. It's the same with investment and retirement planning. And you probably know it deep down. Your old plan needs to adapt to meet a changed world. But how? Annex Wealth Management can help. It starts with a call. With one call, you can start seeing your future more clearly. If your financial picture is cloudy because you're getting conflicting tax, investment, and estate planning advice, help is a call or a click away. Annex Wealth Management's team works to get your investment plan in line with your tax plan and your estate plan. Build confidence with one team working to create one comprehensive plan as a fee-only fiduciary. Annex Wealth Management. One team, one plan, one fee. AnnexWealth.com.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. Streaming live, drewsteele.com. That's the website. Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate you watching. And on Facebook, at Drew Steele Radio. There's a lot to unpack. We got to get right to it. If you've been listening to the program, it's time to start to talk about this, everybody. There's plenty of time throughout the day today where you're going to hear the national headlines. You're going to hear more about the Biden administration going after your guns. That's right. They're doing that. You're going to hear more about what's going on when it comes to the words that you think are true, like infrastructure. Infrastructure is about roads and bridges. No. It's about childcare, and it's about the energy grid and broadband and dental vision and hearing. Yeah, that's what the left is trying to convince you because they're crazy. And so they're trying to make it so that you don't even know what the truth is anymore. You don't know the lies from the truth, from plus to minus to up to down. You are so confused, and that's what they want. That's how you destroy a country, by confusing everybody to the point where it's like, just tell me where to go. And then they tell you where to go. And where they want to tell you where to go is not really where you want to go necessarily, if you know what I'm saying.
A piece of horse manure.
Yeah, something like that. But anyway, there's plenty of time throughout the day today to talk about those national headlines. Today is the day we're talking local. We're talking with Matt Caldwell right now, Lee County property appraiser, but also somebody who brought to my attention yesterday a couple of things that we've got to start touching on, because it's about local, everybody. It's about local. Local issues are where it's important. If you're talking about your kids and education and you're hearing national stories about how you have school districts and you have states and you have on a federal level, you have the indoctrination of your kids in universities and the like, and you're frustrated and you're like, I can't believe this is happening. It's awful that it's happening in those places far away. No. There are things that are happening local, and you have the power. This is your money. This is your kids. This is your state. This is your Southwest Florida. You have control over this. So when Matt Caldwell presented on Facebook, and a lot of people were emailing me about this Equality Florida, best practices and action steps that are being taken in the district, where all students are allowed to be involved in school activities that are consistent with their gender identity, and all students are to be referred to by their gender pronoun and name that's consistent with their gender identity. And, oh, by the way, all students are also allowed the access to restrooms that are consistent with their gender identity. All of this is there in an elementary school as a poster that's out there so people understand this. Did you know this? Did you have a say in this? Did you know that this is happening? Did you get a chance to speak about this at the Lee County School Board or the district? And the answer is, well, apparently there were workshops, but no, that's not how it goes. So I wanted to dig into this and take your calls, 239-479-5592. First of all, Matt, welcome back.
Absolutely. Listen, this is the issue of the day, and frankly, I think of this election cycle locally. I think this is going to decide the future of our school district, and by extension, the direction this county goes in over the next decade.
Yeah, and by the way, this is so important. This is where your power comes into play. Forget about the national stuff for just a second. Give me a half an hour of your time to dismiss yourself from the national and stay right here at home. This is at home, and this is where you truly do have the ability and the power to change things. If you don't like some of the things that we're going to be talking about, you can make a change in 2022. There are changes that can be made. Just wipe the slate clean. You can do this. For example, before we get into this poster and all of this that is taking place and people are confused and they didn't realize that this is happening, let's go back to just a couple of weeks ago, Matt, and talk a little bit about what Gwen Gittens from the Lee County School Board, a school board member who's saying to the governor in a letter, waste, fraud, and abuse. We got problems here, and they are well-documented problems of individual board members working with staff to watermark other board members' documents when told, and you've got that issue. You've got the meetings and formal meetings and informal meetings, the misuse of employee whistleblower hotline. I mean, there's a ton of stuff here. Can you dig into some of the issues with the Lee County School Board that is right now in front of the governor? And hopefully he's going to recognize this and something will get done.
Well, it really is a lot to try to digest. It's 4 pages worth of detailed complaints about the way this district has behaved and the way they're frankly violating the law. I mean, look, we've talked a lot about some of these issues. The sales tax referendum, for example, a couple of years ago, highly contested. They barely won it by a single point. And the whole time we heard that it was for building schools and we're not going to increase debt. Well, look, you and I know how budgets work. We know how particularly government budgets work, and bureaucrats like to move the money around. And we saw literally within less than a few months after that passed, instead of spending the money on buildings, they were talking about giving raises to the senior administration. Exactly what we said they were going to do. And frankly, we know politically they were only able to win that vote because most of the teachers in this community felt intimidated to have to support it. But you've got other issues. The thing that brought about the main topic we had today, this transgender rights movement that's been adopted by the school district through a workshop, taking affirmative action as the superintendent based on a feeling that you get at a workshop is not how you run a government. You don't have a policy change. You don't have an affirmative vote that's been made by the elected legislative body, the 7 members of the school board. And if you don't have that, you can't take executive action, and particularly not this kind of executive action. Frankly, I think the school board needs to have a serious conversation in their upcoming meeting. Does this rise to the level of calling for the superintendent's job? At the very least, I have no confidence in the leadership of this district if there are policies being implemented contrary to the majority will of this community and being done without any formal vote by the board that's elected to represent us.
Right. And by the way, speaking of what we talked about before, which is a huge, important point, doing this, why? Because of money? Because the Biden administration is not going to give us federal dollars? You're afraid of that? Well, you had the half-cent sales tax that you passed. You've been asking for money. You're saying you're not getting enough money. You're constantly talking about this. Well, if you want to talk about money, we can talk about money and what is needed. And if you're telling me that from a federal level, you're afraid to not be able to get that money, so you're making decisions on your own based on money, you need to stop. You need to stop doing that right now. Because that's not a satisfactory answer.
No, not whatsoever.
Yeah.
This is the responsibility of educating our kids is first and foremost about preparing them for real life. That means they need to understand the basics of math and grammar. They need to understand the basics of science, back to the issue at hand, actual science based in fact. And they don't need to be indoctrinated with crazy, outrageous ideas about choose your own adventure lifestyles. That's part of this, what I call the sexual fascists out there, that if you don't sign up for this, if you don't believe it, and it's the shade of the same stuff we're seeing on the other issues, the boycotts that are happening now because of Georgia. I mean, it's just, if you believe anything that is consistent with traditional values, you've got an organized group of thugs out there that are going to try to punish you and beat you over the head about it. And that is why I keep coming back to it. Not only has the school board been treated like mushrooms, put in a closet and told they don't really matter, because we're not even going to bring this up for a formal vote. We're just going to take a general sense and a feeling. But the bureaucracy is working completely out of cowardice and fear that they're going to lose some money.
Right.
And that is just insane that is the trade-off they've decided to make.
All right, so let's do this. We got a lot of people that are calling, 239-479-5592. But before we get into your thoughts on all of this, I want you to hit on this specifically. How does a corrupt school board benefit itself and not the community? Fraud, waste, and abuse. This was the letter that was sent to the governor by Gwen Gittens. And I want you to hit to some specifics. There are people that are saying, all right, so a letter was sent. So what? Well, what's the specifics? What are they? What are they, Matt Caldwell? What exactly are some of the things, the accusations against a school from a school board member against the board? What are they doing?
Oh, some of these things we talked about. So misuse of the sales tax dollars, it having been tagged as needed for construction projects, and then the spending going to other things. The issue of actions being taken without any kind of formal board support. And I mean, again, this is 4 pages of bullet points, individualized items, what the decision making went into as to where a district school gets located or how the money is spent on a project. You've got issues regarding the misuse of public position is a big accusation of this, which is, what kind of quid pro quo relationship potentially exists between the vendors and the bureaucracy at the headquarters. Look, you ask any person that pays even a passing attention to this school district, and everybody just takes for granted that the downtown bureaucracy is a make-work jobs program by and large, that it is not invested in what is the best outcome for the students at the school level, at the teacher in the classroom level, and that it is designed and perpetuated as a relationship with corruptly potentially vendors and contractors and whatever else kind of relationships are out there, all about going back to the money and the way that people are rewarded. And it is a pretty damning document in terms of the questions that it raises, and certainly should be looked at and should be investigated. Yeah. And when you look at the way the district is behaving, we have a clear example here in the major topic we've talked about today, where the bureaucracy is unchecked and out of control and is not pursuing any policies or positions that have been laid out by the elected board.
Yeah, let's go to the calls. I've been holding patiently. Cindy's in Fort Myers. Hey, Cindy.
Hey, good morning, Drew. Good morning, Matt. I just had a couple of quick comments. One of them is, a couple of years ago, my daughter decided, as many kids do, that she didn't like her given name and she wanted to be called by a nickname. And she couldn't do something as simple as change her nickname without the school making a big deal of it and getting me involved and getting me my permission, etc. But I find it absolutely preposterous that the school board will get parents involved over simple menial things like a nickname, but they're going to let children make potentially life-changing decisions and not get the parents involved. That's insane.
Yeah, no, I understand there. Cindy, thanks for the call. Matt?
Yeah, this is totally inconsistent with where the policies, the actual written adopted policies of the district, are completely and totally against this poster and this movement. I mean, just you can take it in so many different directions. Why is it that gender expression is something that a parent can't be informed about and a child has complete and total discretion over, but we still have restrictions on how they dress? If a student wants to express themselves as a goth, right, and wear dark makeup and wear dark clothes, you're restricted from doing that under the current board guidelines and the school dress code policies. How come I can't express myself that way, but I can in this other way? What is it that's different about this that's completely contrary to all of the other existing policies in the Lee County School District? It is why this is so maddening and outrageous and has people up in arms, because not only has this been done without the board's direct approval, but it's been done contrary to everything else that is done in this district.
All right, let's go to Kelly. Kelly's in Naples, wanted to weigh in. Hey, Kelly.
Hey, good morning, Drew. Good morning, Matt. It's Kelly Lichter, former Collier County School Board member.
Hey.
I just want to weigh in on the fact that I'm happy to see that a Lee County School Board member is speaking up about the fraud, waste, and abuse in Lee County, and that the governor should be investigating the district. I would say the governor should also be investigating the Collier County School District. I mean, I spent 4 years there. And it is, and what I've seen since then, between the superintendent and their district counsel, John Fishbane, I mean, the amount of fraud, waste, and abuse going on in Collier County, I think Governor DeSantis should also take a close look, not just at Lee County, Collier County, and I think there are a lot of other school districts that have the same things going on in them. And frankly, the school board is not really you don't really have much power at the school board level. The superintendents and attorneys pretty much run everything. And as you saw in the 2016 election, the leftists came out hardcore, raised significant funds that had never been seen in Collier County before to maintain this stranglehold on the Collier County school district.
Yeah.
And we need, and hopefully the voters are going to wake up for this next 2022 election. There's 3 seats up.
Right.
And if those seats can be taken over by people that understand what's actually going on, maybe something will be done. And hopefully the governor will take a look at what's going on in Collier County.
Yeah, no, that's Kelly. That's a great point. I thank you for the call so much. And again, Matt, goes back to something we talked about earlier. A couple of things. Number one, elections have consequences, and 2022 could make all the difference in the world. Locally, you have more power than you realize. You don't have to let what's happening in districts right now happen, which is what, of all people, Bill Maher mentioned a week ago, and I talked about this, and maybe, Matt, you heard about this as well, where he was saying there's this dynamic that's happening right now where once upon a time you had parents, teachers get together. The parents would meet with the teachers, and the parents would be like, listen, I see this happening with my kid. I see this happening in the district, and I got problems with it, and I'm concerned about it, and I'm getting with you. And the teachers go, oh, okay. And they listen to the parents and respond and react to what the parents have been saying. Now it's been flipped on its head. Literally, it's the superintendent and attorneys, like Kelly was pointing out, and the district who tells the parents what's going to happen. They tell you what's going to go on, and you have no say in it. It's completely opposite of the way it should operate.
Well, 100%. It's people who think they know better than everybody else. I'll never forget. It was maybe 16 or 17 when I was on the House floor. We were arguing about scholarships for education, and one of my Democratic peers said that they didn't trust the parents. They trusted the opinion of the teachers and the bureaucrats more than they did the parents. And it just made it crystal clear. But, Kelly was right. You have an opportunity this cycle. 4 of the seats on this school board are up for election. There's 7 seats on the school board. So a majority of the school board is on the ballot in 2022. If you are upset about this and you want to see a change, you can make that change happen in this cycle. Yeah. And I think the other thing that it's time for the legislative delegation to talk about whether we should elect our superintendent. I firmly believe if the superintendent had been elected by this county, there's not a chance.
Well, how does that change? How does that change?
The legislature can put the issue on the ballot. It's allowed under the state constitution, and it's just a referendum of the people, and the legislative delegation can put it on the ballot.
Okay. Yeah, that and how important that is that we have an unelected superintendent that's like, I'm not worried about anything you all have to say, and that is a true concern, especially if it comes to waste, fraud, and abuse that we're told is happening by a board member in Lee County. And again, I can't stress this enough to you. Number one, if you're someone who does not have a child right now in the district, why do you care? It's your tax dollars. It's still your money that's being spent, and what is happening, and they're not being good stewards of the money. Either they are or they are not, and there are too many examples that we are told of it being mismanaged. That's a problem. That's number one. And number two, a huge part of this is if you want this kind of thing to stop and you want to have a say in and you care about all of this, you can make a change now. 2022 is bigger than you realize, especially on the local level, right, Matt? It is bigger than people realize. I appreciate that some are still focused on it, and I totally 100% get it, what happened in 2020 and where we are and some of the things that have happened in places like in Pennsylvania and Wisconsin and Georgia and the like. I get it. But we got to focus locally, everybody. We got to be concerned about what's happening here, and there are big changes that the left is going to try to do in the state, especially the governorship. You already see it on display in the way he's being attacked. You have an opportunity. It's important we respond.
It is absolutely critical, and it is about the tax money, but it's also important because it's where we live, and we can lose this community. This is the biggest county in the state and one of the biggest in the country that didn't impose a mask mandate, that didn't shut down. We are the anachronism. People look at Lee County and say, how do you do this? How can you have almost 1 million people and still have conservative policies implemented at a countywide level? And it is something we can lose very quickly. You look at Orange County in Orlando in the year 2000, that was a Republican bastion. The Republicans had the majority of the seats. Today, of the nearly 20 major local offices, there's only 2 Republicans. And that's just 20 years that we have completely lost Orlando and Orange County. That can happen here if you check out and don't pay attention to issues like this on the ground.
Yeah. All right. I'm looking at the time. We got to run, and so do you. I appreciate you spending the hour with me, Matt Caldwell, joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. A very important issue, and it's about time that, we talk about it's the politics of local. Well, guess what? We're going to start focusing on local, everybody. I mean, there's plenty of national headlines, but there's local stories that are going to come up in 2022 is a big year. Talk about change. You have a chance to stop a lot of what's happening by the left and a lot of what's happening here locally and the things that you're disgusted by. And we're going to make a difference. And you are going to make a difference. Not we together or collectively. I can't use the word collectively. That's not a proper. Yeah, it's not a good word to use these days, is it? Collective.
Don't use that progressive terminology.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. Sorry. Okay. All right, Matt Caldwell. I appreciate you. Thanks, man.
Absolutely.
All right. We'll see you soon. Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Hey, a reminder, drewsteele.com, the website if you want to watch. And also, good news, bad news. The bad news is we didn't get a chance to do Drew's College at 7:50. I know a lot of people were upset about that. The good news is we'll do it coming up. And we will do Drew's College because we have a $100 gift certificate to Kenzie Med Spa and Wellness Center for you, just for playing, coming up on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Drew Steele in the morning and Trey Radel in the afternoon. 2 doses of what cures liberalism. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Smart homeowners know that proper maintenance of their home's AC can save a bundle in the long run. Trust our comfort specialists at 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating to keep your AC running strong. A proactive tune-up can actually help your AC run more efficiently and save you money on your electric bill. Call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time or you don't pay a dime. Always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Do you know what's in your investment portfolio and why it's in there? The Naples Trust Company and the Sanibel Captiva Trust Company were founded in response to high net worth investors seeking quality independent wealth management to protect and grow their family's assets. At the Trust Company, we like to say, we don't invest in the market, we just buy great companies. Our local investment managers are not only experienced and proven, but talented analysts. It's taken years, perhaps a lifetime, to reach the financial freedom that you and your family enjoy today. Your financial future should rest in the hands of a company with the integrity and experience to preserve and grow your assets. The Naples and Sanibel Captiva Trust Company teams invite you to experience the true meaning of private wealth management. Contact us at one of our local offices and let's get acquainted. NaplesTrustCompany.com.
All investments involve risk and are not guaranteed.
Hey, this is Papa, reporting that we're still getting a lot of calls from homeowners who were told they needed a new re-roof after Irma. Most of these folks had a few broken tiles that are obsolete. Our company has 2 warehouses filled with the older obsolete tiles that have never been used. If you think that you may not need a new re-roof, but only need to replace some obsolete tile, please call me for our free tile roof inspection. We may be able to repair and seal your roof to make it look new and beautiful, a lot cheaper than replacing the entire roof. If you call me for our free inspection, we'll place you on our proactive list. And in the event of another hurricane, you won't have to go searching for a contractor because we will automatically call you to see if you need assistance. Let me show you how we can clean and seal and protect your roof, pavers, and pool decks. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Gary, and Cody, call us at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. We're open 24/7, and you can call us right now for a free tile roof inspection. License number CCC 1326213.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it, guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at GoodDealsAppliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
With the Diamond District, you get the best of both worlds. Jason and Todd are wholesale diamond brokers selling to the public and jewelry stores across the country at wholesale prices. The Diamond District is also a retail store that you can visit every day and see the largest selection of GIA and Forevermark loose certified diamonds.
No matter what it's like outside, Trane makes it comfortable inside. You can get a great deal now on a new heating and cooling system at Trane. Visit TraneInfo.com. Visit TraneInfo.com to find your local dealer and more. Because it's hard to stop a train.
These grapes are great. Hey, grocery guy, are these fresh?
You should know. You've eaten enough of them.
I always sample the grapes.
You've practically eaten a whole bag, sir.
So what are you going to do about it, grocery guy?
Watch your head while getting in the squad car, sir.
Well, officer, I thought the grapes were free.
At Rock Solid, your sink is free, along with free bathroom countertop materials. Just pay for installation when you get kitchen countertops.
Grapes are free, but bathroom countertop materials are at Rock Solid.
JNC Boulevard, Naples, rocksolidnaples.com or 596-7676. Rock Solid, where you always get more.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, the real estate market's hot right now, but for how long? Well, nobody really knows. If people don't catch up on their mortgage payments because of COVID, the market's going to get flooded with foreclosure inventory, and that's scary because your home's value could plummet. If you thought about selling your home, now is the time to do it, but you don't want to make any costly mistakes. That's why you need to get with Anthony Gomes from GomesBuysHomes.com. See, he's been buying, selling, brokering, and investing in real estate for 20 years. Mistakes in real estate, well, they can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. So Anthony's created a free value pack training that's going to reveal 3 secrets on how to sell your home fast and for top dollar in this crazy real estate market. It's free. It won't cost you anything. Just go to GomesBuysHomes.com now. There's no obligation. GomesBuysHomes.com now.
I'll pick you up after school. Okay, I got it.
It's easy to take a day for granted. You and your family are connected by routine, and you stick to it. But what if a disaster strikes without warning? What if life as you know it has completely turned on its head? What if your day's routine is disrupted and you can't reach your family? Have you planned for that? Before a disaster turns your family's world upside down, it's up to you to be ready. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed today. Learn how at www.ready.gov. Ready.gov.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomato's Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News Traffic.
The East Trail still shut down this morning because of a crash from early on today. East of State Road 29, there are injuries in that crash, and that's right going to be right near Monument Lake Campground. If you're heading out that direction, just want to take Alligator Alley instead. 75 in Fort Myers backed up because of a few minor crashes all off to the side of the road. But there's one northbound near mile marker 135, another southbound near Luckett Road at mile marker 139, again off to the side, just causing some congestion. Bayshore Road very backed up eastbound approaching the interstate because of a crash. And in Gateway, in Daniels Parkway, Gateway Boulevard, we're watching a crash right now causing westbound slowdowns. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Florida. Expect a ton of sunshine and a big warm-up this afternoon as temperatures inland will reach the mid to even upper 80s with the lower 80s near our immediate coastline. Now, the wind becoming breezy at times, plus the warm, low humidity will allow for an elevated fire danger index once again, but we will get some relief from that by Sunday as a rain approaches Southwest Florida, and we get it for multiple days as we look toward next week. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Southwest Florida's place to talk about
coronavirus. It's on the police.
Everything.
Give me liberty or give me COVID-19.
92.5 Fox News.
Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
It's Big Al from Stevie Tomato's Sports Page. Do you feel American pride and want to shout, God bless America? As a son of immigrants who came through Ellis Island, I stand when the national anthem plays and get emotional thinking of those who have sacrificed for America's greatness. At Stevie's, we're filled with gratitude for our great customers and the country we live in. The firemen, police, emergency service, construction workers, and those who go about each day providing the foundation for our country. We love our customers and express our gratitude with our food, service, and value. Thankful for your dedication for what you do. And to all our great customers, show your love for this great country by going to any Stevie's. Stand at the bar and say loud and clear for all to hear, God bless America, and I'll buy you a 10-ounce beer. Restrictions apply in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. God bless America.
Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
Hi, this is Keith, the owner of Storm Shield Windows in North Fort Myers, and Storm Shield wants you to be prepared for the upcoming season. Global Weather Oscillations, an organization that predicts storms and hurricanes, has just been cited as the most accurate in storm forecasting by the media. Professor David Dilley, senior forecaster for Global Weather Oscillations, says that GWO's Climate Pulse technology model indicates that some regions of the United States have entered or will be entering the most dangerous hurricane landfall cycle in 70 years.
The experience with their product was great. We went through the storm. We didn't have to rush around and get plywood. We didn't have to put up shutters. It wasn't loud. It wasn't scary. There was no noise at all. We could see outside the whole time. We felt safe, and I just can't thank Storm Shield enough for the quality of their product and the peace of mind and security that it gave my family and me through the storm.
Enjoy the peace of mind, safety, and security that Storm Shield Hurricane Windows and Doors will add to your home. Call Storm Shield for a free in-home estimate today at 239-491-7002. 491-7002.
License number CGCEA 60475.
Your 9-year-old car just hit 100,000 miles. You don't know whether to smile and pat the dash with pride or to cry because your trade-in value just went down even further and you're so ready for an upgrade. Don't cry. Bring it to Naples Nissan and get the full original MSRP for it. That's right, whatever your trade-in was worth when it was brand new, even if you didn't buy it new, that's what Naples Nissan will give you for it. And voila, you get to drive home in a brand new Nissan. All vehicle types, all vehicle brands, regardless of where you bought it from, or if you bought it new or used. If your trade-in is a 2012 or newer with less than 120,000 miles on it, Naples Nissan will pay you the full original base MSRP for it so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan today. Get full details at naplesnissan.com. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
True relief for back and neck pain. In my office, Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, every day I talk with patients that for so many years just suffered with back or neck pain. Many just assuming that it was normal or something they had to live with. They'd tried injections, epidurals, or even surgery with no success, always looking for a chair to relieve pain or always dreading pain while sleeping or getting out of bed. It's time to treat the root of the problem. Please don't think there are no other options. You can overcome problems from sciatica, stenosis, neuropathy, bulging degenerative discs, or scoliosis. Non-surgical spinal decompression can change your life. Think of how much happier you'd be without pain. This Medicare-friendly treatment combines science and technology to offer a state-of-the-art, non-surgical procedure that is remarkably effective. We always offer a free telephone consultation and free x-rays to see if you're a candidate for spinal decompression. Johnston Spinal Care, we're here for you. Call 596-BACK, 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Hello, Floridians. Today is a good day. Today is a good day to stay comfortable. Today is a good day to have your AC worries taken away. And it's a good day to get service backed by over 50 years of AC excellence. Oh, yes! So if you're having AC problems, get our $49 tune-up, including no breakdown guarantee, and Florida Cool Today will help you get the best from today.
Call today, cool today, FloridaCoolToday.com.
Carrier, turn to the experts.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it is Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. My name is Drew Steele. Hi, his name is Jake the Millennial. Hello. Now I'm doing your voice. And that's not even your voice. That was an awful impersonation of you. It's more like, Jake, wake up. That is so mean. People hate when I do that to you.
That
you
one
know?
was good.
No, that's not really true. You're fine. You're awake, right?
Not really.
Okay, good. Well, see, it's about honesty. That's what we believe in this program. It's about honesty, and it's really about being honest with you. All right, honestly, good news and bad news. The bad news is we did not do the Drew's College of Political Knowledge for questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you want a PhD. We didn't do that at 7:50. We always do it at 7:50, and people were screaming, saying, "Why didn't you do it?" Well, here's the good news. We're going to do it coming up because we do have a $100 gift certificate from Kenzie Med Spa and Wellness Center. They're located on 6th Avenue South in Naples. You're thinking skincare and facials and Botox and chemical peels and cool sculpting and weight loss treatments. It's awesome. So a $100 gift certificate for you just for playing. So right now, we'll take the 9th caller at 239-479-5592. Number 9, you will play Drew's College. You'll win the $100 gift certificate. So go ahead and call now. But in the meantime, before we get to the calls, before we do that, we've got to do this, the top 5 audio clips of the day, the 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5. I'm convinced the reason that the president hasn't come down here, the reason that the vice president hasn't come down here, the reason they won't now let the press back into these facilities is because they're afraid the American people are going to find out exactly what's going on down here, how chaotic it is, and it could be stopped if we would just keep in place the policies that were there under President Trump.
Now, that is Representative Jim Jordan of Ohio, who was on with Hannity last night. And here's the thing. More and more individuals are going to the border to see for themselves what's happening, this crisis along the border, because the president and the vice president will not go. And the press will report on it the way that they feel that it can be reported enough so that they said that they do it without damaging the Biden administration. But you have more and more people like Representative Jordan going to the border saying they don't want to say and talk about the disaster, the crisis that's happening along the border. They're seeing it right now. And all you'd have to do is get back to the Trump policies and we wouldn't see this crisis happening. That is true. But wait till you hear what's coming up.
Number 4.
According to Reason Magazine, 27 states have introduced bills to expand programs to fund K through 12 to fund the students instead of the institutions. And this is a really, really huge growing movement. And we already do this in other places. As Corey DeAngelis has pointed out, we already fund people directly with food stamps and Medicaid and Pell Grants and GI bills. It's time to do it with K through 12. I mean, just pull it out of the schools and give it to the students. I mean, we don't fund the grocery store. We fund the person buying the groceries. We give them the food stamps. So this is how we got to treat education. We got to empower the family because there's a huge imbalance. There's a power imbalance between.
Wow. That was some great words there from Greg Gutfeld on the 5 last night, talking about an article in Reason that's been out for a little while, just about a month. And the COVID-19 pandemic has shown why we should fund students, not systems. You want to change what's happening with districts, school districts, and teachers' unions and the like. Give the students, the families, give them the money and allow them to go where they want to go to be educated. Give them the choice with the funds and then have the schools compete for those dollars. That would be a huge change, right?
Number 3.
My last question is on immigration. The Family Reunification Task Force, as of now, is saying that it hasn't reunited any families because they're still sorting through the system. I wonder, can you talk a bit about why they haven't been able to reunite families and what are the concerns and challenges that maybe are even more pronounced than you would have thought they were going to be?
Sure.
I'm convinced
first, we can't overstate how complex this challenge is.
the prior administration did not have a system in place to track the children.
Oh, there's Jen Psaki. That's the funny part where you had Jim Jordan earlier saying, hey, listen, all you had to do is keep the Trump policies in place and we wouldn't have this issue along the border. And everybody agrees with that. That's where the crisis is. The crisis is when you put a plaque up that says, come on in, door's open. And everybody's coming because the door's open. And you're like, why are people coming in? I know the door's open, but why are they coming? Because you told them to come in. That being the point. When asked about that, Jen Psaki says, oh, yeah, it's Trump's fault. It's a Trump administration. It's cleaning up. Nobody believes it.
Number 2.
Do you have an opinion on voter ID laws?
Yeah, they're usually pretty racist. I think voter ID laws are a way to perpetuate racism.
Would you go as far as say those laws are racist?
For sure.
Do you think it suppresses the African American vote?
Definitely. Because they're less likely to have state IDs. These type of people don't live in areas with easy access to DMVs or other places where they can get identification.
Do you think that's harder for black people to go online?
Well, I feel like they don't have the knowledge of how it works.
Do you carry ID?
Yes, I do.
Do you know any black person who doesn't carry ID?
No.
Do you have ID?
Yes.
Because I have my ID and my friends have their ID, so like, we know what we need to carry around.
Everybody that I know have ID. Like, that's one of the things you need to walk around with New York with.
I heard a lot also that black people can't figure out how to get to the DMV.
Really?
What does that say to you?
I know it's on 25th Street.
Do you know where the DMV is around you?
It's on 125th Street and 3rd Avenue, I believe.
That's a TikTok video right there, minute long, going up to some white individuals there in the city of New York and saying, what do you think about voter ID laws? They're racist, yeah. You know, those people, they can't even find the DMV and they don't know where anything is. And then they go to a couple of black individuals and say, you know what the DMV is? You have ID? Yeah, we all have ID. Everybody's got ID. I'm just going to leave that there.
Number 1.
So I'm prepared to work. I really am. But to automatically say that the only thing that's infrastructure is a highway, a bridge, or whatever, that's just not rational. It really isn't.
It's not rational, everybody. It's not rational to believe that when you're asking for money for infrastructure, it's just for roads and bridges. You know, there's more to infrastructure.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Do you not see what's happening? It's so easy and plain and simple and right in front of your face, and it's this. Democrats have made a move. Bernie Sanders in a tweet says, what is infrastructure in this country? It's roads, bridges, the energy grid, broadband, childcare, dental, vision, hearing, care for the elderly. Christian Dillenbrand says paid leave is infrastructure, childcare is infrastructure, caregiving is infrastructure. Other people are saying, well, hold on a second. Gaslighting is infrastructure. Brunch is infrastructure. Kendall Jenner is infrastructure. Mayonnaise is infrastructure. What else can we do? Do you see what they're doing? What they're doing is, and Biden is doing it as well, along with the radical left in this country. You don't know if up is up or up is down or down is up. You don't know if left is right. You don't know if infrastructure is childcare. You have no idea, because what they're doing is they're gaslighting you out of existence. They're going to make you believe, this party, the Democrats are going to make you believe that infrastructure is childcare. Infrastructure is dental and vision care. You know it's not. But they're telling you it is. And they're going to keep saying it and saying it and saying it and saying it like a good social Democrat says and does. They'll continue to do it until you don't know what's right anymore. And you just want an answer. And the media and the left in this country will tell you, oh, no, it's dental care. And you'll be like, okay, I guess it's dental care. Well, not you, but they do. Don't fall for it. Don't do it. Do not do it. It's incredible. It's awful what's going on in this country right now. It's absolutely outrageous. All right, 239-479-5592. I see Jake shaking his head. All right, you ready to go? Oh, I know how you got to just play the open, so that's all we have to do. So, Drew's College of Political Knowledge, 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD with your call right now. at 239-479-5592. We're taking caller number 9 because we got a $100 gift card from Kinsey Med Spa and Wellness Center. We want to get you, and we want to play Drew's College right now. So what do you say we do it? And how do we do it, Jake? I guess what we do is we start with the music. Anytime you'd like.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, here's the thing. In case you don't know, 7:50, we do it each and every day. I missed it today. We had a big, long discussion locally about the school board, and we got late on time. But we had this $100 gift certificate from Kinsey Med Spa and Wellness Center. I wanted to get it to you, and a lot of people have been asking for it, so I wanted to get Rick in Fort Myers to be able to play. Hi, Rick.
All right. Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We're going to see if you earn a PhD. Rick, are you ready?
I am.
Rick, are you there? We lost Rick. All right, Rick. Well, we will we'll pick it up. What are we going to do about Rick? We just lost Rick. All right. All right. Well, let's. If Rick calls back, let me know. Let's
Chris
go to
is still here.
Chris. You're still here. Chris, are you there in Estero?
I am. How are you guys?
All right. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Your associate's degree question starts right now, Chris. You ready?
Let's go.
All right. Name the 2 senators in the great state of Florida. Who are they?
Oh, Marco Rubio and Rick Scott.
That's correct, sure. All right. You got an associate's, see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. Hey, who exactly is making federal laws? Who makes federal laws?
Legislature.
Yeah, that is correct. Congress, Senate, and the House. Yeah, that is correct. All right, you got a bachelor's. Let's see if you get a master's degree on this question. How many senators do we have total? How many are there?
100.
That is correct, sir. All right. You got a master's degree. Here is the hardest PhD question anybody has had in about, what time is it?
Don't do it to me.
Okay. Remember the 1992 presidential election?
I do.
Remember it was George Bush? Remember George Bush Sr.? Remember it was Bill Clinton?
Yeah.
Remember the other guy that was running as well?
H. Ross Perot.
That's correct. Wait, but that's not the question. Who was his running mate? Who was his running mate?
Oh, man. I was a sophomore in high school, man.
You should know this.
Perot.
No, it's a tough question. Do you remember? Jake is like... Remember the guy when he was up there, he's like, who am I? What am I doing here? And everybody laughed until he started to talk a little more about stuff.
George Burns?
It wasn't George Burns, but boy, was that a weird reference right there. And about half the audience is like, I'm checked out. Okay, no, it wasn't George Burns. It was Admiral James Stockdale. Remember James Stockdale?
No, I do not.
But listen, that's why we do this. Drew's College of Political Knowledge. We do this because it's an education. Not only is it a civics education, but we go back in time and we learn about politics. Now, Chris, wasn't that... Okay, all right. Wasn't it fun to learn about that? Wasn't it fun?
It's awesome.
Okay, you were going to say hilarious, but that's not really kind.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, listen, the good news is you got a master's degree today on Drew's College, and you got a $100 gift certificate from Kinsey Med Spa and Wellness Center there on 6th Avenue South in Naples, KenzieSpa.com. And they do all kinds of great things like skincare and facials and Botox and chemical peels and a whole lot more. So congratulations to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I need you to stay where you are, wherever that is. Where are you?
I'm on the job site. I have a small lighting business, and we're doing some landscape lights today down in Estero.
No better way to take a break from doing all of that than to join us. Stay there, okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right, we appreciate that. We appreciate you working out there hard. Appreciate everybody for listening. Glenn Beck is next. Let's find out how the remainder of the forecast is shaping up today with Wink News meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Temperatures will soar into the mid to upper 80s inland this afternoon, low 80s near the coastline with abundant sunshine and that low humidity as you step outside later on today. We will get some relief from all this heat we've been seeing, with areas of rain beginning Sunday and lasting all the way through mid next week, bringing much needed rainfall to portions of Southwest Florida. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
I am mad at everything going on.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
So you say the time has finally come. It's here. I can't do it anymore. I can't have my water in my house smelling like chlorine. I just got to stop. I can't handle the hard water stains around my faucets and my shower glass. Make it stop. The water drying out your skin and your hair. Listen, you can. Just make the call. Call right now for your free Pentair water test. Pelican is now Pentair Water Solutions, the pros. And the number is 239-880-7799. Look, chlorine, ugly lime scale, iron. You can do something right now. Give Max a call, a uniformed Pentair water specialist, and he can find and handle your city or well water issues. We know we have them here in Southwest Florida. And look, with the mobile showroom, you can see for yourself that Pentair has both high-performance salt systems and the salt-free solution, too. And salt-free means no lugging in bags of salt. And they can even install your Pentair water system for you. And I'm telling you, you are going to love the way your water tastes from every single faucet and the peace of mind that only a Pentair water system can give you. So call now. Get your free water test. Give Max a call at 239-880-7799 or book online at pelicanwestfl.com.
We'll buy your car today, on the spot, and pay you $500 more than anyone else. It's the ultimate buyback event at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral. 4 days only. Market conditions and a record month have caused a massive demand for your used vehicle, allowing Sutherland to pay more than ever for trade-ins, up to 130% book value and $500 more than any other written offer. No purchase necessary. Sutherland Nissan will buy your car outright. You don't need to buy one of our cars. Bring your vehicle to Sutherland and get paid up to 130% value today. Plus, you can score your car for free on the Sutherland basketball hoop. Make a layup, free throw, three-pointer, and half-court shot, and you can tear up your contract. The car is yours on the house. Hurry, this event ends 7 p.m. Sunday. Nobody in Florida pays you more for your old car than Sutherland. Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car megastore. Online at flnissan.com. If you don't shop Sutherland, you'll pay too much.
See dealer for details.
Sophia's days are full of...
Guys, more candles on the cake means less testosterone in the tank. But we can turn this back into this.
Oh, yeah.
You just need a tune-up.
In men, low testosterone can lead to muscle loss, extra body fat, fatigue, depression, and erectile dysfunction. Suboptimal hormone levels are associated with the development of disease states like osteoporosis, heart disease, and stroke. At Neogenics, we specialize in testosterone, growth hormone promoters, bioidentical hormones, and nutritional programs designed to correct these imbalances and make you feel revitalized. See why patients from across the country are coming to Neogenics and take the first step to feeling great again. Call Neogenics for a free consultation at 277-9999 or find us online at neogenicmd.com. That's 277-9999. neogenicmd.com. Neogenics, rediscover your youth. 277-9999.
You look tired. Up all night. Leaky faucet. Did you call?
Don't need to call someone for a faucet. I'm a real man. I have tools.
So...
Tried twisting it, banging it, squirting stuff on it.
Yeah, the usual methods.
Oh, can't sleep at night. It's worse than torture. It's deliberately trying to ruin my life.
Dave.
And the last thing I'll hear as I descend into a chaotic breakdown is one more agonizing... Gah!
Dave! So what's the best case scenario?
Best case? Okay, I make one call, someone comes out today, fixes the faucet. Life gets back to normal.
That's best?
Well, yeah, but...
That's best. Best Home Services. They always have 4 plumbing trucks standing by waiting for last-minute calls.
4 trucks?
They even have a doohickey to fix that drip.
Wish I had a doohickey.
GetBest.com. When something goes wrong, we're waiting.
They come out for something that small?
Or you could just get used to it.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
Injuries on the job can cause you to lose control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar Levine. Money is not coming in and your medical bills are piling up. Our legal team is here to help. We can help you file all your workers' compensation claims to make sure you get the proper benefits you're entitled to. If you've been injured on the job, call the law offices of Anajar Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Naples.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 9 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.